Good evening, boys, girls, and NBs of all shapes, sizes, colors, and orientations. Welcome to the one and only Alec Gunter stream. My name is Alec Gunter, coming to you live from the void of darkness, apparently, because I forgot that I switched over to split cam, so give me just a second here. Split cam, there you are. Alright, there we go. Coming to you live from sunny Ohio. It has been a beautiful day today. I went for a little bit of a walk down to Sheets, which was nice. Got me a sandwich. Probably not the healthiest sandwich in the world, but I am trying to increase my caloric intake a little bit because I worked out 2 days in a row this week. I am doing night workouts now. So on Sunday, I went at about 8 p.m. Yesterday, I went in after work. I was fucking tired, dude. I was so tired. I only finished like four exercises before I had to call it quits. It wasn't my best workout ever, but you know what? I figure it's going to be rough going at first. I'm not going to finish every exercise, but I am going to get my ass over there as best I can and do what I can while I'm there. And that's how I'm going to operate for a little bit. But yeah, increased caloric intake for sure. Because I'm trying to, if you can believe it, either maintain or even put on a little bit of weight. I'm trying to get back to my, as many know, my bench press of 370 pounds, which I once was able to do twice in a row. And now, last night I did my bench press, and I could, I could barely squeeze out 295 one time. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. It's not ideal. But as I said, we're going to work our way back. And very soon, I'm hoping I will be back to where I was. Thankfully, what a lot of people don't know is once you've built up enough muscle, getting it back is actually quite a bit easier. Because you have latent muscle is what it's called. So I have a lot of latent muscle tissue, which will be returning as I continue to work out. My goal is to go 6 days this week. Also, I don't know how many people were here when I made this announcement. I have fallen back into my addiction, which would be League of Legends. Yes, I'm sorry. I know. My brothers really wanted to play with me one night, and so I was just like, whatever, I'll open it. Yeah, I'm back. Now, thankfully, I'm not as bad as I used to be. I only play like 1 or 2 games at a time. But I am just as competitive. When I lose lane, I am fucking pissed. Dude, like, it's bad. I'm working on chilling the fuck out. But my sweaty gamer nerd side is quickly coming back. 2 years sober off of League. I was like 5 years sober, dog. What lane? Top lane's my favorite. Jax is my main. I also really like Gnar, but Gnar, I guess, is not very meta because he's just unpredictable. So he's not very consistent. But when the bright side of that is that people don't really know how to play against him. So at the lower elos, he works really well. A lot of people know how to play against Jax. I got countered super hard with Garen. Like, this guy ate my entire asshole, dude. It was bad. And I thought that I would outscale him because that's usually how it works, right? You lose early game to a cheese champion, but then, like, their scaling can't keep up with you. Especially if you're somebody like Jax. But lo and behold, I guess Garen's just busted now. Not that he ever wasn't busted, but it used to be that, like, with Garen, your goal was to end the game as early as possible. Like, unless you have really good carries, the goal is to end the game as early as possible. Like, mid-game at latest. You don't want to carry on too long with Garen. But apparently now, he's just for everyone in every lane. Not every lane, sorry. Everyone in every point of the game, period. Like, he is just cheese incarnate. I hate him. I hate him so much. I ban him every game now. I do not like Garen. Also, design-wise, he's one of the most basic motherfuckers in the game. He's just, like, everything about him I hate. He's a bootlicker, too. Everything he does is for Demacia. Demacia, brother. I do it for the pride of my nation. Fuck you, dude. Nationalist prick. I hate him. I clock him as racist, too. I think he's racist. I base that off of no evidence whatsoever. In fact, there's probably quite a bit of counter evidence to that, but that makes me hate him more. I want things to hate about him. Oh, man. But yeah, back to things I've been doing to improve myself. I'm drinking a lot more water lately. Obviously, I've reduced the alcohol, as we've discussed. Haven't stopped the alcohol completely. I still have a tiny glass of water. Compared to Vosh, yeah. I used to have a big old jug, which I still have, but like it's been sitting outside for so long that it's basically unusable at this point. I would have to deep clean it. But I guess I'm just gonna use it for like utilitarian stuff now, like out in the yard. Or back porch or whatever. Like, we were gonna use it for, like, watering plants, but that never really came about because we never planted anything. I did actually clean up the back deck, though. Which is good. Anyway. I don't know how long I'll be on today. I'm not trying to go super late because I am gonna work out after this. But, you know, I'm also going to work out tomorrow night, and I have work until 9, so, you know, I might go to, like, 9 or so. As far as crochet updates, not a whole lot going on there. I did try to crochet Vulpix's tail. I got one part of the tail done out of 6, and I have no idea how I'm going to get it on the fucking main body, because if I don't put it on properly, it's just gonna droop. So my two options are, one, the first thing I tried was to like make a skeleton for the tail, like just jam some wires into the main body and then hope that it'll hold, but it's not holding very well. So I'm probably just gonna go with option 2, which is to sew the tail to the back so that it sticks up nice. The unfortunate part is that you're not going to be able to move the tail, but it's whatever. Like, it'll look good. It's supposed to be a display piece anyway, so whatever. I'm not too worried about it. But it's just tricky to do each part of the tail, so it's just going to take me a little bit. I don't charge enough for these damn sculptures, man. I really don't. The dino egg I bought found its home next to my fossil collection. Hey, nice, yeah. Yeah, the dino egg, you get the privilege of having the only piece that I've ever done felting on. That's the only crochet piece I've ever felted on. I bought felt a while back. If you don't know what felting is, it's where you use a needle and like push felt into the material to decorate it. But it's just not my thing, so I just did it once and that's it. I would do it more, but like the yarn that I use doesn't allow for felting. Chenille does not really allow for felting. You have to use like the classic yarn. Yes, Alec is indeed live. I've heard. Have you heard that Alec is live? Okay, first up on the agenda is the T app. I guess we'll just go right into it. I won't stall for too long. I really don't know much about it, but I guess that I think people like that. I think people like it when I kind of just jump into something without knowing anything about it and we just learn about it together. So I was gonna read a little bit right here, but I might just jump right into the segment. Who wants stuff from me? But yeah, the reason that I brought up the workout stuff, I am trying the Looks Max. Looks Maxer's in. So, working out is part of that. I'm trying to get my drip together. I threw out some clothes, bought some new clothes. I'm gonna try to look into like how to properly do my laundry so my whites don't get dirty. I don't separate the darks from the lights or anything like that. I've heard differing theories though on like what you're supposed to be doing with that. I am super against the T app, but the misogynist rage it incited makes it hard to argue against. Well, it's not a fix for the problem, right? This is a cultural problem we're facing. Okay. Let me see if I can just find a video about the T app. Yeah, Asmongold seems like a verifiable source. See if we can find a news article. Will you chill? Milo is being ornery. We accidentally locked him in the closet. We don't know how long. So now he's being pouty. You're fine. You're just being a baby. Here we go. Okay, we'll just start with this and see what happens. So I've been hearing a lot about this T app. We have a news article from NBC News. Women are anonymously spilling tea about men in their cities on viral app. I've seen so many people I know on the app, it's crazy, said one user of T, which topped the Apple App Store charts this week, shortly before the app was hacked. From what I know about it, without reading the article, from what I've heard, this is apparently an app that is exclusively for women. I don't know if they have like that facial recognition technology that, you know, TERFs use for their apps, but who cares? I don't care. That's not what this is about. Basically, what I understand about the app is that women on there submit their experience. It's like for straight women. So they submit like their experiences with certain men. They like submit their photos and names and basically everything short of doxing them, or maybe doxing them. I really don't know. But the point is that like it's just gossip, right? It's basically the gossip app. It's like that's why it's called tea. You're spilling the tea. So as the kids say, of course. So the idea here is to protect women, right? To respect and protect women and keep them safe in the dating marketplace. Because Unfortunately, there is a point to be made here. The dating marketplace for women, for straight women, well, for any woman really, but the straight dating marketplace, I should say, for women, is very toxic. I haven't done like any detailed research on it or anything, but from what I've seen of men and the way that they go about dating, it's not good, right? And men, of course, have their own share of problems in dating as well. I think with men, it's a lot harder, especially today, to like approach women and to have the resources necessary to take women on a nice date. A lot of men aren't really taught proper etiquette or like, just to treat women like people. Like men are not. It's not like men aren't suffering in the dating marketplace, but the suffering that is incurred upon them is a direct result of the what's it called? The patriarchy, right? The patriarchal structure of the society. Men are taught that we're supposed to be like the alpha males and control women and have as many babies as we can and proliferate offspring, etc. Whereas women are taught to be like subservient. They're expected to be subservient. Or at least they historically have been. And the more independence and the more freedom women have gotten, men have just kind of stayed behind in this mentality of, well, we need to control our women and dominate them and whatever. So that has led to a lot of toxic relationships, a lot of toxic behavior with men, insecurities, etc. As women are like making more money, they can be more independent. It's not a good situation. All that being said, I don't think this is a good fix. This is I wouldn't even call this a Band-Aid solution. This is like putting a piece of duct tape on an open wound. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to make it worse, not better, in my opinion. It's like, I understand what you're going for, but all you're doing is infecting the wound. When Sid Walker opens the T app, she's greeted by a barrage of posts about men and their apparent red and green flags. Quote red and quote green, quote flags, of course. He's a cheater, Walker said, reading some of the comments on one post out loud. What clubs does he go to? Another person asks on a different post. He's cute. The app, which appears to have been advertising itself online since at least last fall, allows users to solicit feedback about specific men they're dating. Walker, 22, is among the 4 million users on the women-only safety app, which this week became the #1 free app in the Apple App Store. It's not really a safety app, in my opinion. It's a gossip app. I don't like, even if your explicit purpose is to keep women safe, what it ends up being used for is just gossiping about men. If there is a guy that is dangerous, I don't know that I have a solution for this. I just don't think that this is it. It picked up viral traction in the last month after some people began talking about it online on Reddit and TikTok. The app gained more than 900,000 new signups in the last few days. Jesus. Getting off the waitlist now can now take days, an inconvenience many new users complained about in comments on the app's Instagram posts. Upon opening, T users are presented with local men whose photos have been uploaded, along with their first names. For each of the men, other women on the app can report whether they deem him a red flag or a green flag and leave comments about him, such as those recounting negative date experiences or vouching for him as a friend. It's icky. I don't like it. It feels like doxing. And also, the sources that we're getting this from, I'm sorry, this is going to sound kind of like, MGTOW of me, but I do think that there are women who will go on here and just lie. I know, like, would people really do that? Go on the internet and tell lies? But I think that, yes, they would, in fact. Women are not immune from that. It's just not anything that you can verify. Unless you go meet the person for yourself, or people who know the person directly. Like, you are getting information from strangers on the internet that you do not know about another person who is a stranger that you do not know. All I can say is they're using the face AI stuff, and I'm happily dating 2 people, and I'm glad I don't need to deal with this. I am also glad I don't need to deal with this. I am so lucky that I found Katie when I did, because this is too much. I can't imagine dating right now, to be real. Man or woman, or other. So yeah, that's. Let's take a look at some more features. App users can look up individual names in the search bar or create custom alerts for specific men. The app also offers functions that let users run background checks, search for criminal histories, and reverse search photos to check whether a man is catfishing by using someone else's photos on his dating profile. Signing up for T requires users to take selfies, which the app says are deleted after review, to prove they are women. All users who get accepted are promised anonymity outside of the usernames they choose. Screenshots are also blocked. There's no way. And also, we're going to get into the data leaks. On Friday morning, a spokesperson for T confirmed that the company identified unauthorized access to one of our systems and immediately launched a full investigation to assess the scope and impact. I mean, they were I'm sorry. This is also going to sound very bad, but they were kind of asking for it. They were. This was stupid. This was a stupid idea. Whoever did this, in this environment, in this political environment, guaranteed that this was going to get out. You basically just made a gigantic honeypot for the alt-right to go after these women. And to be clear, I don't think the people using this app, even if women are using this app, I don't think it's a good app. But these women don't deserve to be fucking doxxed and have their lives ruined, by who knows what dangerous pricks are gonna find them and kill them or whatever. That being said, let's look at a more recent article from 2 hours ago, Business Insider. T app hit with 2 class action lawsuits after a data breach exposed private messages in 72,000 images. That's pretty cool. Yeah, the images were deleted, right? Good stuff. 2 class action lawsuits were filed Monday against T, the app where women can leave anonymous reviews of men. The suits both allege negligence on the part of T, which recently experienced a data breach. One suit also targets X and 4chan, where it says sensitive information spread. I also want to point this out, right? Just another point about dating in general. People need to be able to spend time with each other and assess each other and try to, get each other's history. We need to communicate as a species. What happened to that? Why do we need an app to tell us whether a guy is dateable or not? If he's not dateable, you'll go on a date with him and find that out, right? My first Tinder date, I've only ever been on 2 Tinder dates. One was with Katie, of course. That was my second one. Well, I guess technically 3. We're in an open relationship, but that's beside the point. Before I met Katie, I went on one other Tinder date. And this Tinder date was with a girl that I was trying to meet her halfway between our houses because she lived 25 minutes away. But no, she insisted, it's got to be right next to my house. There's this wing place right next to my house we have to go to. So that's number 1. Number 2, I showed up dressed nice, She shows up dressed like shit. She was dressed like shit. She just got off work, she said. But, I'm willing to, forgive that. But then we go into the restaurant. She orders, 4 wings, whatever. I did end up paying for it just because I didn't want things to be awkward, and I thought that was what I was supposed to do. If I could go back and redo it, I wouldn't have paid for it. I'd be like, no, we're on separate checks. But anyway, we're talking about work, our jobs. And I'm talking about how I'm tired from my job, etc. And she's like, oh, she gives that little chuckle. You think you're tired from your job? I had to work since 6 a.m. this morning moving boxes, and my legs are... It's no, this wasn't going to be a competition. I didn't realize that you felt so strongly about this, right? But immediately, I don't consider myself at that point in time to be the best reader of people, but I could tell that was not going to work. So I escorted her back out to her car after we ate, and I never talked to her again. And that's it. That's how dating is supposed to go. You tried, it didn't work out, you try again. And I tried again, and, there it is. I got married to Katie, so longest Tinder date ever. I just don't feel like this is necessary, is my point. Let's take a look. The T-App saga continues to brew. I guess it's saga. I don't know why I said saga. And has taken a legal turn. On Monday, the viral app which lets women post anonymous reviews of men was hit with 2 class action lawsuits. Both lawsuits were filed in response to the data breach T experienced last week, which exposed about 72,000 images, including selfies and IDs used for verification and private messages. A T spokesperson declined to comment. If they said that they were deleting the messages and this got out, then yeah, they're definitely in trouble. That is huge. The two lawsuits filed in the Northern District of California allege negligence, breach of implied contract, and other claims. One lawsuit filed on behalf of Griselda Reyes said that she submitted a photo while signing up for tea that was accessed in the breach. I don't think that this organization intended to violate people's rights, Scott Cole, the lead attorney on Reyes' case, told BI. I think they were just sloppy. Yes, they were very sloppy. Absolutely. They should have known that this needed to be, like, locked down. They should have actually been deleting the pictures of these women. For sure. I don't know why, but the whole situation and just the general vibes of the app feels like 2014 to 2015. Yeah, you're right. That is true. I don't know why. I kind of got that same vibe, but I couldn't put it into words. Just like you can't. Yeah. I mean, you did put it into words. Better words than I could. Let's see. So yeah, they just you know, lawsuits. The second lawsuit also names X and 4chan as defendants. That's silly. That's silly to me. Sorry. Like, you cannot be held responsible for every single little thing that happens on your social media site. Now, I don't have... This is not to defend X and 4chan at all. But, like, I could see X not making an effort, Twitter not making an effort to, like, delete any of the data. If they were just letting it go, if people were bringing it to their attention and they were letting it go, then yeah, they should be implicated in the lawsuits. But we'll see, I guess. So yeah, I thought we could find maybe, like, a nice little right-wing video going over this just so we can shit on it. My takeaway from all this is it was a stupid app. They should have seen this coming. They should have had way better security on the damn thing. And the women who use it, I don't think worse of them. I understand that there's a problem with dating and with women's safety and shitty men being shitty. But, like, this was not it. This was not the solution. There needs to be, like, a cultural shift. Just fucking meet people and date them. What happened to that? I know I sound like an old man, and I feel like I'm sounding more like an old man every day, but, like, what happened? Can we just date people, please? Like, what happened to dating apps? Back in my day, we just used dating apps, you know? I'm sure Asmongold has something to add to this. Oh, cool. So we were just starting right off with a tea leak. Oh, no, wait. Okay, this is a video. Okay, I don't know if they're... Let me scroll through and make sure that these dumbasses don't actually leak anybody's photos. Okay, they do. That's cool. I don't know if I want to play this. They just... He leaks people's information. Good shit, Asmongold. Very good shit. I'll just play the audio, and, we'll... Here, hold on. Sorry, I'm looking for a suitable GIF. Here, this works.
Yeah, oh, here we go. Here we go. The tea leak.
Hey, so the incels are at it again.
That's me.
No one can have a fun time on the internet.
That's right.
It's just the rule, especially if you're a woman. Nice try.
I can guarantee you, anyone wearing these glasses doesn't want you to have fun. That's the last thing they want you to have.
Quick context.
Solid analysis from our boy Asmongold. Very solid stuff.
The T app was a platform designed to catalogue and expose men with whom female...
Here, I'll show this real quick. I don't know why I'm even bothering to fucking hide it. There's already 1.2 million views on this. I just don't want to be participating in the fucking doxing that he's doing.
users had interacted, often including full names, photographs, and personal information. But here's the catch. To prevent unauthorized access by...
It's like, okay, you didn't want them doing that to us, but now we're doing it to them on a much worse scale. Oh, sorry. There we go.
men, the app implemented a strict verification process requiring users to submit government-issued IDs. After the app went viral, it immediately sparked a major scandal. So a coordinated group from 4chan's intelligentsia swiftly gained access to the entire user database, including everything, even sensitive geolocation data. One user was even part of the US Department of Defense. In the aftermath, a game was created featuring public rankings designed to mock the former wannabe doxers.
Saw you trying to stay safe there.
Oh,
Not gonna happen. Not on their watch. I do, of course, also think that there is quite a bit of responsibility on the app. You know,
I love how, like, every single time something like this happens, these people play, you know,
prepping for a lot of yep-based. Well, there would be a lot of yep-based if you weren't watching somebody that you disagreed with. I will show that girl real quick. This chick. 4chan leaked apps users, and the TikTok lower mids want to... lower mids? They just don't like women. Right? Like, they just don't... Like, she's not mid. Like, I just don't... Like, I don't know. She looks fine. Like, I don't get lower mids. They just have to, like, insult these people for something. Like, the glasses... The glasses are a little big, I'll say that, but, like, you know, I just don't care that much.
On the app, you know,
I love how, like, every single time something like this happens, these people play, you know, the floor is lava with taking accountability for their own actions. You are on an...
It is not taking accountability to have your information doxed. Like, I understand. Okay, listen. I get that participating in the app is, like, kind of shitty. You know, these girls kind of did a shitty thing by spreading, like, men's faces and names and then attaching bad information to them. But for one thing, I'm willing to bet that most of them were probably accurate. Like, if you're on that app, you probably are a shitty guy. Okay? So that's one. But two is you're literally doing the same thing now, but in reverse. And, like, we know damn well that those women were not going to go and try to attack those men or anything. Like, they just wouldn't date them anymore. Doing it the other way around is literally, like, inspiring people to go fucking find these people. Look at this. Phone number lookup. Wait, is this... Oh, no. I see. Oh, no, this is from the app. No, they were just straight up doxing people. They were, like, posting their addresses and shit. That's pretty bad. I don't know. I'm going to be a centrist on this and say both sides bad.
App that's all about leaking personal fucking info.
Apparently, that shit was not secure.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you turn around and do the same fucking thing to them. You know?
And all...
I'm sure Asmongold is going to agree with this lovely person here.
All of that info got leaked. Like, they can see your exact coordinates.
clearly didn't set up enough security measures, so somebody nasty was able to easily access these images and leak them. So head on a swivel, ladies.
And so, again, you have... And this is what got leaked, by the way. This is what got leaked right here. Yep.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm glad that we are just literally, as Asmongold, doing the thing that we got mad at the app for doing. Very good stuff, Asmongold.
Yep, there it is. Holy brother, that's right.
We are now showing pictures of women with their sex, obviously female, height, weight.
I knew it.
Yeah, it's great.
I fucking knew it, bro.
Pictures that, like, the app assured these women would be deleted, by the way. The whole thing's just shitty. Like, I think, like, everybody sucks in this situation, right? Like, can we just be normal for once? can we say that the app is bad and shut it down and then like move on with our lives and without like feeling the need to ruin these women's lives forever? Like, I don't know. The whole thing just sucks. I don't know if I have much more to add than that. I'm trying to add something. I feel like I just I don't feel like I added much to the conversation. They complain about how men aren't cared for and how high the expectations are, and then go out of their way to trash the most everyday normal looking woman the second they can. Yeah, like, let's not pretend that this, here, I know how to cut this off. Let's talk about where this came from, right? Because, like, this is the same kind of thing as, like, anti-white racism, where you can recognize that, yes, there are pockets of black people and people of color who are racist against people because their skin is white. That does happen. But where does that come from? It comes from an overall structure of white supremacy, right? Of living in a white supremacist society. It is a reaction to the white supremacy. Like it's a backlash. And technically they are punching up at the, quote unquote, the higher group there of the hierarchy. This is the same thing. Women historically have been the lower group in the hierarchy between men and women. And this is them punching up at it. So to pretend like they're on equal playing fields here is nonsense. If we want to fix this problem of like men attacked women first for decades, for centuries even. Like women have like taken the shaft like forever. So I'm just like not that mad, I guess. It's just shitty. Like it's not a good reaction in my opinion. So shut down the app, sure. But then, like, let's recognize that this all came from a patriarchal society where, women are hated and thought of as lesser. I think that's fair. Like, we like to pretend like this behavior came out of nowhere. It didn't. There's a very real problem. It was a response to a very real problem. Right? It was just a bad one. And the people like doxing these women are, they're just throwing, they're just fanning the flames. They're throwing fuel on the fire, right? So everybody sucks, but also we live in a patriarchy. And if men don't want to, I'm sorry, like part of this comes down to like, if you don't want to be put on an app and have everybody think that you're shitty, maybe just don't be shitty, And then that won't happen to you. I don't think I'm on the app. If I am, somebody feel free to let me know. But as far as I know, like I am not on that app, and that's for good reason because I'm not a piece of shit. And if you're not a piece of shit, you probably aren't on there. Last thing. Let's be totally for real. What kind of men do you think were on that app? Do you think that like the women on this app were going after like the nicest, everyday, well-to-do Joes who are just working their 9 to 5 and trying to find a nice lady to settle down with 2.5 kids and a white picket fence? No, sorry. Like the guys going on this app were most likely the most rancid dog shit pieces of crap that you will ever see. Like, I'm not saying it was all of them. I'm sure that like there were some nice guys, not quote unquote nice guys, actually nice people who got put on there and got their information leaked. And that's not a good thing. And even if you are a piece of shit, I don't think that necessarily means you deserve to have your information leaked, okay? Like I said, this is just a shitty situation all around. I just think it's worth recognizing where it comes from. And that's that we live in a patriarchal society that is wrought with misogyny. And this was the natural conclusion to that, frankly, This was going to happen because women felt like they had no power. That's where this is coming from. And I think it's very important to recognize that, which dumbasses like Asmongold, who are still in the process of doxing these women, will not do. Okay, I think that was a pretty solid analysis. Nice little summary of what's going on. Hello, Gray the Deer.
Doing a rap about a man named Alec Gunter. Tricking this girl and I straight up Alex stumped her. Holding cross crossroad like he looted Alec Hunter. Passing the football call this dude Alec Hunter. When he's doing bad, he is trash like Alec Dumpster. Wife is literally cheating, so Alec go confront her. Thinking about stuff he's doing, and Alec wonder. Shooting lightning from his fingers like he's Alec Thunder. Alec Hunter is here to stay. Alec Hunter knows the way. Alec Hunter, king of crochet.
Okay, well, Vosh just got back to me about the fundraiser. Unfortunately, he cannot make it because he's moving. But that's fine. Oh, yeah, for those who don't know, I guess I made an announcement already, but we're doing a fundraiser on August 8th for the Trevor Project. We have a bunch of good people gathered already. We have... Let's see... So far, I've got my buddy Greycraft, who you may not know because he's a tiny streamer, but my buddy Greycraft, he actually lives quite close to me, which is funny. I probably shouldn't dox him. If anybody knows my location, now they know his, but... we just met on... It was funny, we lived relatively close, and we met on streaming, so that was cool. But we got Conyer, Nyara VT, Ravana, Riverboat Jack, and Surus so far. I have also reached out to Actual Jake, Dead Domain... I feel like I'm missing somebody. I'm going to reach out to Denims. Denims would be huge. Who else? I'm going to reach out to a couple others. We have plenty of room, so... It'll be fun, though. I'm also trying to get... oh, I should make this announcement real quick. I did make this announcement in the Discord server as well. But I have a form for people to fill out. If you would like, which I will link right now in all the chats. So if you want to take part in some idea building, I am building a custom Cards Against Humanity deck. And I'm also building a custom Quiplash game. And I also need suggestions on a raffle prize. I want to do a raffle. So like for every $5 donated, I'm thinking will be one raffle entry. And then at the end of the fundraiser, we'll do a raffle drawing. And whoever wins the raffle will get like a homemade crochet thing. I think that'll be fun. So yeah, fill out that form if you'd like to participate. Yes, F the app and F the leaks. Both. I just think the whole thing's shitty. It's like none of this would have fucking happened if we just treated women normally. Here, I'm tweeting that. Yeah, I think that's good. Fuck the T app, but also that shit wouldn't have happened if men just treated women normally. Teeny Alec doll. I thought about an Alec doll, but I want to do something Pride related, so I thought Alec doll with like the G logo on the shirt, but the shirt is rainbow colored. I think that'd be fun. It's gonna be a heck of a stream. Yeah. It's non-stop fun lately. Also, sorry if I seem low energy. I did take my Adderall a little bit later today so that like I'd be, you know, up and running for stream. I'm also got a Celsius drink. But these workouts the past 2 days have just worn me the fuck out. I'm really trying to get back into the swing of going 6 days a week. Oh yeah, while I'm at it, I'll also make one more announcement. I will be starting up clinicals soon for my PMHNP license. And I will have to be doing that Tuesday and Thursday. So, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to switch one of my work days to Sunday. So I'll be busy Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Unfortunately, if you're paying attention to my stream schedule, that means that I will not be able to stream Tuesdays anymore. What I will be doing is streaming once per week on Friday. So Friday streams will not change. We'll just have to get... We're actually pretty backed up on segments right now. Dubsy got sick for a few days, so we're a little bit behind on the editing schedule. So I may not have to like pump out content really bad just yet. But eventually I will have to start like just doing 4, 5, 6 segments per stream. Might have to do longer streams. You know, it is what it is. Most people show up for the YouTube videos anyway. I am noticing a slight uptick in viewership though. For a while there we were only doing like 15. Like, you know, 10 to 15. Now we're like at 30 right now, so that's pretty cool. I like it when people are present for the live streams because the YouTube uploads carry the channel, but the live streaming is really what I like to do. You gotta do what you gotta do. Indeed. Indeed. Beta, I guess you aren't up to the Sigma Riz level of working out. Yeah, I mean, you joke, but I'm literally not. Like, I'm out of shape right now. I'm not trying to, like, do perfect workouts every time. I'm just trying to get my ass to the gym 6 nights a week at first. Initially, I was going to go either in the morning or during the day, but I think I do better at night. Yes, like the stream, indeed. I wish I had more consistent time to watch. I never expect people to be here. Like, I do. Like, in the general sense, I expect people to show up, but I never expect any specific person to, like, come back. People are always like, oh, I'm sorry, I missed the stream. That's goofy. You got shit going on. I don't pay you to be here. Specifically you, Queen Laura. Like, you're a mod, and I still don't pay you, so, you know. And NBPAL, of course. Nobody, including myself, should be doing what I do. Oh, are you doing... Sorry. Are you doing workouts? Like... We paying people? Who's paying who? No, no. Nobody's getting paid. Nope. Except Dubsy. Dubsy gets all the money. And sometimes Guitar Rocker. I'm back, was playing a game, was lurking. Welcome back. Between uni and work, it's a bit of a duck shoot when I'm on here. When I'm here. Yeah. Thankfully, my job is pretty low effort. Nah, not low effort. I don't like saying that. It's low intensity. Low intensity, we'll say. I think I've mentioned it before. I work with a quadriplegic trach vent patient, so he basically just lays in bed and watches Sesame Street. And I am tasked with making sure that he gets a bath every day. I brush his teeth. I change him, obviously, when he's soiled. I turn him. I talk to him now and then, but he's really not that, like, you know, he just kind of watches Sesame Street. I was going to say not that talkative, but he can't talk, so of course he's not talkative. He does communicate with his eyes and his heart rate. So when he's uncomfortable or in pain, his heart rate will shoot up. He sometimes has seizures, but that only happens once in a blue moon. So I just got to make sure that I'm ready for that. And then I usually call out his mom to help me with it anyway. Which I wouldn't do if she didn't want. She likes being... What's nice is the family likes being there when something bad happens. Like, Mom almost never leaves the house because she's just concerned about him. So she gets anxious when she does leave. I have to make sure I have my phone on me when, you know, in case something happens, etc. So, but my point is, it's low intensity, and even when it is intense, like, she's usually there to help. Who is texting me? Somebody just texted me 5 times in a row. What is this? Hello? Okay, did anybody else get this fucking Android update where, like, you press the on button and you have to press it, like, 3 or 4 fucking times for it to turn on? It used to be that I could just press the on button and it would turn on. Now I have to press it, like, 4 times before it registers. Oh, sorry, here I am. Okay. Speaking of clinicals, it's my clinical instructor. I just got all my health stuff turned in except for, let's see, my background check is done, but I need a drug test still. So I got to go get that done. But after I got that done, everything's turned in, and then I just got to get the clinicals out of the way. Hate updates, never changes for the better. I know! When is the last time, seriously, when is the last time that you guys have gotten a phone or computer update and you're like, you know what? This is better. This is pretty good. They actually fixed something that I didn't like. Besides, like, a glitch or something. Besides that. Like, an actual software update that improves the quality of life. You know? When is the last time that has ever happened? I'm not saying it hasn't. Updates like that are legit to get you to get a new phone. I know! That's why I called it the death update. I remember, like, my Android shit used to look different. And now it looks... Like, it looks fine. I'm not upset about how it looks. But, like, now it's acting weird. And I'm like, what the fuck? You didn't act weird before the update. Don't even get me started on my laptop. My laptop wants to update, like, every 2 fucking seconds. Like, every single time. Like, every week. Like, no exaggeration. Like, every week my laptop tries to update. And lately it's been trying to do, like, this hour-long update. So I tried to do it, right? Because I had a few hours left for work. So I'm like, fuck it, whatever. So I tried to update it while I was at work. The motherfucker shut down, right? It shut down. I'm like, okay, the update's done. So I turned it back on, and I shit you not, this motherfucker was corrupted. The update corrupted my OS. Because it would say, like, updating, whatever. It would freeze at 98%. It just stayed frozen for, like, 10 minutes at 98%. So I shut it, so I hard reset it. You know, you, like, you drag the pillow out, basically, and shove it over your laptop's face. By which I mean you press the power button for 5 seconds. And then I turned it back on. It did the same thing. I tried it again. And then, like, the third or fourth time that I tried this, it just goes straight to the BIOS, and it tells me, like, your OS is broken. It's broken. We don't know what happened. It's broken. And I'm like, what the fuck? Fuck you mean it's broken? You were just updating it. You're supposed to fix things when you update them. So I had to go into the BIOS. Thankfully, it was a pretty easy fix. I just had to delete something and then reload it. But now it's asking me to do that same fucking update again. And I'm like, fuck you. I also hate Windows. People have been telling me to switch to Linux. Maybe I'll do that. Also, Windows is... Microsoft is on the what is it called? The list of, like, people you're supposed to... a BDS list, right? Boycott, divest... What's the third one? Boycott, divest, sanction. Boycott, divest, sanction. I'm trying to be better about the BDS list. Next time I get soda, it is not going to be Sprite or Coke Zero. It is going to be Pepsi products. Diet Dr. Pepper and shit. Type shit. I hate that Windows 11 wants PCs to be tablets so much. Everything is moving to touchscreens and tablets. I hate it. I hate it so much. The only thing that I've accepted as a touchscreen is my phone, but if I could have my phone not be a touchscreen, I would prefer that. I can't envision myself, like, I guess, like, we did have phones without touchscreens, don't get me wrong, but I think that the most efficient way to use a phone, maybe like a thumb mouse, you know? You know how, like, those laptops that you had in school would have that little thing, like the little nipple in the middle that you could use as the mouse? That would work, right? I think I'd like that better, actually. I always drink Starry. Yeah, like, the only Pepsi product I think is better than anything Coke has is Mountain Dew. Is Dr. Pepper PepsiCo? Hold on. It's not owned by Pepsi or Coca-Cola. Okay. It's like a third thing. A different third thing. That's pretty cool. Dr. Pepper is like the third party candidate. I drink root beer because Coke owns literally everything, but if it helps, I get it for free, so Coke makes nothing since I work at a damn gas station with a freestyle machine. That's pretty cool. Indie pop? I know Indie Pop Con. What's Indie Pop? Oh, independent, like, soda. Got it. Sorry, you said Indie Pop, and I thought of Indie PopCon, where I go every year for free. You guys know that story, right? Indie PopCon is like a nerd convention, like San Diego Comic-Con, sort of, but much, much smaller. And I go there for free every year now, because I won their little tournament that they do every year. It's just like a dumb, like, secret games, they call it. And if you win, you get a lifetime pass, which I got, so... I also got to play against Gerard the Completionist in Smash Bros. Right before the allegations came out against him that he's withholding money from Alzheimer's research, which is shitty. So I got to meet him and talk to him right before that. And he seemed really cool, too. He was, like, talking about how he's, like, trying to make our library, like, a public library. Like, he's trying to give video games to public libraries so that, like, kids can just go there and play video games for free, which would be so sick, right? And I think that libraries should have video games. Not even kidding. Like, libraries should be a place where free media exists across the board. Movies, TV shows, video games, books, music albums, art, like all of it. Just put all of it in the library to enjoy. Art material that you can use to draw. Maybe like yarn, like free yarn available so you can like, you know, crochet and knit and stuff. Clay for sculptures. Like, if I could make my own public library, it would be a fucking communist paradise. It would be like the place to go if you want to do shit. Manga, anime, board games, Warhammer, yep, board games. All of it. Libraries would be too OP. That's the point! Public monopoly. The only monopoly I believe in is a public monopoly. Dr. Pepper's the same company as Snapple and Mott's applesauce. It's under Keurig Dr. Pepper. Do they also own the Keurig machines? They have to, right? That's why it's called a Keurig machine. Here at Keurig Dr. Pepper, our purpose to make money. Like, not to shit on them specifically, but I'm so tired of, like, them pretending that it's anything but a drive for money. Just tell me you're trying to fucking make money. I'd respect it more. I don't think I'm alone in that either. People are, like, tired of being fed bullshit. That's why Donald Trump got elected. Because, like, yeah, he feeds us bullshit, but, like, back before, especially before he was elected, he did tell a lot of truths, which is, like, you know, both parties are, like, involved with money and whatever else. Zoran Mamdani, that's why he is basically going to be the mayor, because he talks past the bullshit and just gets straight to the point. And it's like, I just wish these companies would be like, yeah, here's our product, here's the facts about it, we are in this to make money by the product. Like, stop acting like I'm your fucking family member. If I were your family, you'd give me the shit for free. Come on. We're not just a company, we're a family. Fuck you. You ain't gonna show up at my funeral when I die of a... I don't know. When I die of diabetes from your product. K-cups are so fucking bad for the environment. What are K-cups? That sounds like something that gigantic breasted people would wear. D cups. I wear K cups, motherfucker. Roanoa Zero type shit. Do you have a Keurig pods? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, these things. Yeah, the family I work for uses these a lot. Got it. Yeah, these are, yeah. I can see why these would be very damaging to the environment. I wore an M cup before I got top surgery. Holy Jesus. You're like triplets at that point. You gotta name them. My spine is mangled as fuck. I'm sorry. I can stop joking about it if you don't. if you're self-conscious about it. I did meet a girl that had a K-sized bust. Interesting way to spell meat. It's all good. I brought it up because it was funny. Yeah, I dated a girl back in high school. I don't remember what size she was. She never said it, but she was well endowed, we'll say. And she told me at one point that she wanted top surgery. And she was like Christian as could be, you know what I mean? Like, she is just like a regular ass, straight, cishet, Christian, blonde, pretty blonde girl that I thought was cool. And she told me one day, we weren't like officially dating or anything because I am terrible with words. We could have been together today if I had just not been Rizless back then. Thankfully, I'm with Katie instead. Love her. Things work out for the better sometimes. Anyway, my point is, her breasts were very sizable, and she mentioned that she wanted a reduction. But when you think about it, to get back to politics, I guess, like, just women like that who just want breast reduction because their breasts are too fucking big are going to be impeded from doing that thanks to conservatives. They're only going to allow breast reduction for, like, men who are suffering, funnily enough, from gender dysphoria. Which sucks. My C cups already fuck up my back enough. Yeah, M cups are pretty wild. I'm not a titty guy. I feel like at M, once you hit like M, like you're talking, I don't want to say fetish levels because I don't want to like dehumanize people. But it's not about the person. It's about, like, that actually is. Like, there's a phenomenon in nature for this. It's like there was a whole species of deer that went extinct because there was an attractive feature for the males to have very large antlers. Deer that went extinct because antlers were too large. Let's see if I can find this. The Irish elk. Like, we're talking, like, Irish elk levels here. And it's an extinct species of deer in the genus Megaloceros, and is one of the largest deer that ever lived. Extinction. Its extinction has been attributed to the encumbering size of the antlers, a maladaptation making fleeing through forests especially difficult for males while being chased by human hunters, or being too taxing nutritionally when the vegetation makeup shifted. In these scenarios, sexual selection by does for stags with large antlers would have contributed to decline. However, antler size decreased through the late Pleistocene and into the Holocene, and so may have not been the primary cause of extinction. So it's speculated that this could have happened, and in theory this, like, it's a very likely thing that can happen when a certain feature gets too large on the body. But it's also selected for because of quirks of evolution, right? Like, the females thought, oh my god, like, big antlers, fucking look at the antlers on this guy, holy shit, you know. Extinction versus size via size queen. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the size queens, see? The size queens can inhibit the species. Calm down, females. That's what I say. Right, my grandma had to get a reduction. Bro, me and my titties, you know what they say about big antlers. Yeah, that's true. Basically, what I was saying earlier, though, was that the new King of the Hill trailers are weird as hell. I didn't see what you said earlier. Hold on. Wait, you said that like forever ago. Why did it just come through? Oh, no, wait. You said that twice in a row. Okay. Oh, thank you for the bits. I don't know why the thing's not going off, but thank you for the bits. Oh, no, wait. You're not giving me bits. You're spending channel points. That's why it's not. Okay, never mind. Just so you know, I can't see the highlighted messages. Your points are best spent on sound bites. You guys should get your points in on Twitch while you can for the sound bites, because I'm going to go back and either remove them completely or change them. I don't know if I want to keep those around. Riskier as a surgery because spinal fusion fuck-ups can cause paralysis. Yeah, surgery is always, like, considered the most invasive option for anything. Like, as far as invasive goes, invasive procedures, surgery is the most invasive that it can possibly get. Not my oh stinky. We'll keep oh stinky. I want to get rid of maid outfit, probably. Here, let's go through them. We'll do another segment in a second. The frogs are hungry. The frogs are thirsty for the juice. Smell like a baka. That it's it you're putting on the maid outfit. Why are you running? Nani, bonk. Farty. Farty is gonna go. I don't like just the regular fart sound. Built different is gonna go. What the dog doing is gone. Let me in. Let me in is funny. Mine probably gone. Pokemon level up is gone. Actually, I'll keep that one. That one can be fun. Emotional damage is funny. Mission failed is funny. Oh whoa is gonna go. No is funny. They ask you how you are is funny. Oh stinkies. I like most of these actually now that I look at it.
Oh well?
Yeah, there we go. I don't know why the notification doesn't show up on the screen though. I'll have to go back and just fix these. I might rebuild them from the ground up. We'll see. Big brain time is funny. It's only a game is only funny if I'm playing and I get pissed, so I'll probably take that one off. GTA wasted, I might keep that. Tutaru is gonna go. Oof will stay. Holy sheesh is gonna go, and shut your base is gonna go. I gotta go through the other point things too. I should see if White Nervosa can try to get a point thing going on, like, the site chat. I boosted up to 8 viewers after I said the sound thing. That's funny. 8 viewers on Twitch. We have a family friend who needs breast reduction surgery, cis woman, but the government won't cover the bill because of the government pulling the rug for trans people, so they have to cover the tab for top surgery. That's what I'm saying, like... I don't like putting it this way, but I feel like this is the only way that I can get this across to people who are not trans. If you inhibit trans care for trans people, you are inhibiting the same care for cis people. And cis people use it way more fucking often. 90%. I think it's... I might even be lowballing it, but I'm fine with that. 90% of all breast reduction surgeries are done, like, for when you're underage, I should say. Underage breast reduction surgeries are done on cis boys with gynecomastia. 90%. And nobody has a problem with it. I've talked to, like, one transphobe who was consistent in saying, yeah, cis boys shouldn't get it. They didn't say cis boys. They said biological men, boys, whatever, should not get the surgery either. I've talked to one person like that, and they're still wrong, but at least they're fucking consistent. You know what I mean? I can respect consistency, but it's when like these people are like, well, but the that's normal though. The normal development for biological boys is not to grow breast tissue. It's like, no, their genes coded for that body to have breast tissue. And you are saying that that is not normal for some reason. That was the natural way that their body developed. And some of them might like it. What if you have a cis boy who likes their titties? Who wants to keep them? Are you going to force them through surgery? If not, you're even more inconsistent. I fuck with cis boys with titties. Yes, we all fuck with Roronoa Zoro. Even though that's not titties, that's everybody calls it titties, but let's be real. That's breasticles. They're not titties, they're breasticles. Pecs is the word I was looking for. Okay, more juice. We need more juice. What's next in the list? I forget. What did I promise? Anna Kasparian on Tucker Carlson. This will be a short one. Anna Kasparian. If you know her, there may have been a point at which you loved her. If you still love her, I question you. I found her recently on Twitter, on the X app, I suppose, on Tucker Carlson's show, on this post. I did not realize Anna Kasparian was already at the Go on Tucker Carlson and Call Him Stunning and Brave part of a Grifter arc. Now, the thing about Tucker Carlson is he has been saying many correct things lately for all of the wrong reasons. He does point out, especially in his interview with Ted Cruz, like Ted Cruz is a Zionist piece of shit, and Tucker Carlson is very fervently anti-Zionist because he's a Nazi. But he did make a lot of very good points against Ted Cruz, like just objectively good points. He absolutely grilled Ted Cruz. I'm willing to give him that. That being said, once again, if you were to watch him at CPAC, none of what he's saying for a good reason. I think that he's doing two things. I've mentioned that I'm scared of him. I've kind of I've mentally backtracked on that a little bit. I was a little bit fixated on it. But I do still think that he is priming himself at least for a very lucrative media foothold on the country. He's doing a very good job. He's been kind of lurking in the shadows for a long time, but he's very good. Like, he's very charismatic. And, you know, you can call him stupid all you want. I don't think he's stupid. I think he's very smart and he knows exactly what he's doing. And his charisma and his populist behavior has led people like Anna Kasparian and like-minded folks to get behind him when he says things that are just objectively correct, even though he is saying them to back an objectively incorrect narrative, like that Jews are running the media, or that Israel owns the United States. That's not true. I know it's tempting to think that. Israel does not own the United States. The United States owns Israel, and we can pull funding from them at any point we want. Framing it in the opposite direction is not anti-Semitic in itself, but it is definitely hinting towards that, because it's just the Jews own the media, the Jews own everything type shit, right? Anyway, with all that being said, let's see if Anna Kasparian can, I don't know. Let's just see what she does.
Your producers had been reaching out trying to get me to talk to
I don't
you
have a lot of faith in her.
At least a year and a half, and my feelings toward coming on your show went from I would never in a million years to
God. He has to know how he sounds when he laughs, right? I think that he's owned it. A lot of people make fun of him for his Joker laugh. it's really hard to make fun of him. Like, he owns everything. You know what I mean? Like, he leans into the crazy.
Kind of giving myself the opportunity to listen to your podcast to figure out who you really are, because of course I had very strong thoughts about who you are.
Yeah, the grifter mindset. Anna here is, like, I think honestly, if you were to put in front of me a list of people that we consider a disappointment to the left, Anna Kasparian is like S tier on that list. I don't know if she, like, I think she's top 5. It would be her. I don't want to put AOC on there. I think that her latest vote on the Israeli Iron Dome is very piss poor, and hopefully that was just a one-off mistake from her. I'm thinking people like John Fetterman. People who, like, used to be, like, Cenk Uygur, obviously her partner in crime. People who used to very obviously be on the left, who have just completely turned heel.
Who you are.
Really?
Yeah, but I realized that it was based on
exactly,
clips
Dino.
that I would watch of you that had gone viral. And they had gone viral because they were offensive, or you had said something that was...
Viral like syphilis is viral.
I mean, pretty much.
Dog, what? No, what? No, like, come on. Is he pretending to be an old man?
I mean, you should think of it that way, because it was mostly
that was so
painting you in a
weird.
very negative light.
Yeah, that was weird. He's usually better than that.
The birthing person to why I left the left pipeline goes hard.
Yeah, that is where it started, isn't it? Thank you for the 5 tier 1 gifted sub, Sake. That is where it started. The birthing person shit. Like, she got pissed off because somebody referred to women in her presence as, like, birthing people, cis women.
Sorry. Dinner's ready. You'll have to get it yourself. I'm late to work out with Lauren.
That's fine. Have fun. But yeah. Syphilis is bacterial. Yeah, that's true. Syphilis is bacterial. I think when he said viral, like, I can understand why people would confuse that, because we think like it spreads, right? We don't call something bacterial, we call it viral. Yeah, syphilis is a bacteria. Like, it was a bad example. Hello, Molly. She wasn't even directly referred to as a birthing person. It was on a fucking form she was asked to fill out. That's right! Yeah, it wasn't like people calling her a birthing person or anything. Like, she was literally filling out a medical form. And if you acknowledge... It's so weird. It's so fucking weird. Here, let me pull something up. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Comparison... There's like somebody made a really good clip comparing her, like, if anybody knows the clip I'm talking about, feel free to share it. Comparing her from forever ago to, like, when she popped off on the birthing person shit. I don't know if I'll be able to find it.
Where's your decency, man? Where is your decency?
No, this isn't it. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to find it. Point is, there was a point in time where she, like, actually called out the right for doing exactly what she is now doing. And then she turned around and did it herself. And I think it was about the word birthing person, like the term birthing person.
Power. There's a reason Tucker doesn't wear bow ties since Jon Stewart's Crossfire appearance. Mocking fascists works.
That's true. I didn't even think about that. He was very quiet about it, though. This is what I'm talking about. Like, he quietly shifted over from wearing bow ties after he got made fun of for it. Like, he doesn't put up a big fuss when people shit on him directly. You know, like, he never makes it all about himself. That's why I think that, like, people underestimate how effective he is. And it does scare me a little bit. Thank you very much for another 5 tier 1 gifted subs. Anyway, let's move on. Yeah, exactly, Travis.
And
Yeah.
to be sure, you and I have some pretty deep disagreements, but I think that some of what you've been talking about lately, like, hits at the heart.
Talking to a literal Nazi. Listen, we have some disagreements, but
of what I care most about, and that's the importance of this country representing the American people, the importance of the United States being a sovereign country.
I really thought she was going to say something about Gaza, like the thing I care most about, which is, you know, the people dying in Gaza.
That has politicians and a government that prioritizes the American people as opposed to a foreign government. And speaking out the way you've been speaking out about some of these issues takes a lot of courage, because it goes against the grain and it goes against, I mean, decades of propaganda and condition.
You do not have to hand it to Tucker fucking Carlson. Like, I did a little bit by pointing out that he absolutely destroyed Ted Cruz. But once again, I stress, he's not doing that for us. He's not doing that for a good cause, okay? When I went and ass blasted Matt Walsh, I didn't do that. Like, I partly did that for content. I'm willing to admit that. But the bigger part of that, like, I didn't make any substantial amount of money from that. You know, I didn't do that to position myself in good favor with anybody. That wasn't, like, my primary purpose. My primary purpose in doing that was to point out his disgusting hypocrisy and how he's just a fucking degenerate. You know, like, just pull the rug back so we can see the shit beneath. Is there a full version of this? It's probably pretty long. Anna, Kasparian, Tucker Carlson. Yeah, it's an hour and 34 minutes. Let me see if I can just find some more clips from it, because I feel like we didn't get enough. Let's try latest. Makes Tucker aghast with this bombshell. What is this?
What's really depressing, though, is, you know, we provide a lot of the weapons that Israel has. And Israel sold weapons to Azerbaijan to carry out the ethnic cleansing of ethnic Armenians from Nagorno-Karabakh.
What?
Yep.
Is that confirmed?
Yes, it's confirmed. It's absolutely confirmed.
Israel sold weapons to Azerbaijan to kill the Christians.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. What's really...
She's just doing their work for them. This isn't about the fucking Christians, man. What? No, I don't like this. I don't like this. Like, fuck Israel, but you don't have to suckle up to Tucker Carlson, of all people. What's this? The fuck? I think this is going to be the full thing. What the fuck is this website? Where are we in 2002? Jesus Christ. No. About to get a fucking Trojan from that thing.
On the ground in Gaza. Can't deny what you're seeing on the ground in Gaza. You can't deny what's happening in the West Bank. You know, not just in regard to Palestinian Muslims, but also Palestinian Christians. You can't deny the
You got to get the Christian thing in there. You know, like, just make sure that we're talking about Christians, because that's what Tucker Carlson likes to talk about.
That one and only.
Don't even talk about the Muslims. Don't talk about Islam. You don't have to. Just say the Palestinians. Every time I bring up that the Palestinians are being genocided, people like to tell me, well, Muslims would kill you. Yeah, a lot of them probably would. Yeah, you're right. But for one thing, not all Palestinians are Muslim. And for another thing, just because they want to kill me does not mean that I should want to kill them. Okay? Yeah, even if they're ideologically shitty, that doesn't mean they deserve to have their children murdered in front of them.
The Catholic Church in Gaza was bombed, was attacked. You can't deny the fact that churches have been targeted in the West Bank as well. Like, people can lie to us as much as they want, but the videos are out there.
How do you blow up a church if you've got...
Why is it all about Christians and churches?
Munitions that are so sophisticated that they can take out, a guy in an SUV from 30,000 feet. How do you blow up a church with a giant cross on top of it?
It was just an accident, Tucker. It was an accident.
It's not the
I don't
first
like
church
this.
No, it's not. And it wasn't an accident. It wasn't an accident.
So what is the answer? Can anyone get an answer?
I know the answer. Israel wants a Jewish state, and they want to expand. They have something known as the Greater Israel Project. They intend to annex the whole of the West Bank. In fact, Miriam Adelson legally bribed Donald Trump to ensure that happens. And Israel announced that that's what they're going to do, and they're doing it.
It's just, she's just doing their propaganda for them. This is what fascists love to do. They love to take... This is the same thing they did with the Epstein conspiracy. They love to take a nugget of truth and then extend it out until they can blame the Jews. It doesn't have to be the Jews. Sometimes it's somebody else. It can be like BLM. But inevitably, it tends to come back to the Jews. I think I've gotten enough. I've gotten an idea. It's basically just Anna Kasparian sniffing Tucker Carlson's farts for absolutely no reason whatsoever. You do not have to hand it to Tucker Carlson, man. You just don't. Like, this is... She's such a fucking disappointment, man. Like, honestly. They blame the Jews for BLM. Yeah, that was a bad example. It all comes back to the Jews. Always. Yeah, I need a towel after all that sucking off. Yeah, it's just gross, dude. Yeah, like, the whole thing was about churches. And I think that, like, if I'm being as charitable as possible to Anna, which she doesn't deserve, to be clear, but let's just do that for a second. Like, she's trying to frame it in a way to make Americans care more about it, and most Americans do, in fact, care about, like, Christian persecution, right? But now you're making it sound like a fucking religious war. Now it sounds like you're trying to pit Christians against Jews. When not all Israelis are Jewish, not all Palestinians are Muslim, which he pointed out. But this isn't about one religion versus another. This is about Israel overtaking land that is not theirs and killing people for no fucking reason. It's murder. They are mass murdering people. It is a genocide. And that should be the focus. Just leave religion out of it. We don't need religion, okay? The only thing that we should be talking about in terms of religion is that Israel is using the cover of a Jewish ethno-state and protecting the Jews, and they're like throwing... propaganda up about like Jews being attacked and anti-Semitism and whatever. They're using that as a cover for their bigger project, and that's it. It is annoying how they always make everything about their religion. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I guess ultimately what I'm trying to say is that Anna Kasparian is kind of cringe. We haven't revisited her in a long time. I have a bad taste in my mouth after that one. Like, it's especially disgusting. It gives me the same vibes that Ethan Klein does. Like, I hate seeing conservatives and their content. Well, sometimes I like it. It's funny to go over and bully them. But, like my point is... Watching conservative content, like from Melanie Mack, for instance, is one thing, because you can, like, shit on them all day. But with people like Anna Kasparian and Ethan Klein, even, like, people who are not technically media figures, like John Fetterman, who's more of a politician, obviously, like, these people actually leave, like, a disgusting, bitter taste in my mouth. Like, it drains me to talk about them, because I'm just disappointed. I feel like a fucking disappointed father, It's just like, what the fuck happened to you? Like, I didn't raise you like this. Not that I'm sorry, that sounds parasocial as fuck, but my point is, I do kind of feel like a disappointed parent. You know, you're better than this. What the fuck? They know it too. They know they're better than that. I think with John Fetterman, it's a little bit different because he actually sustained brain damage. But for as long as he is not, like, in a home somewhere and actually has a modicum of power in our government, I think it's fine to still shit on him. Because regardless of whether or not he's fully in control of his own thoughts and actions, like, the result is the same. For Anna, it's money for sure, but Ethan Klein, I actually think he went nuts as well. I think it's more complicated than that for Anna. I think that it is partly the money, but I think this of a lot of people, mind you, but Anna especially is a great example of this. Anna Kasparian saw the money, right? Got dollar signs in her eyes, you know, like the cartoons do, like Nami from One Piece, get the dollar signs in your eyes. And then she decided, well, I could still make this work. Like, I can do this ethically, right? Like, I can do this ethically. Okay. Hear me out, right? So, like, we talk about, like, the trans thing. You know, like, it is a little bit annoying, I guess, that, like, I had to fill this out on a form. And it said, like, you know, because it seems a little bit misogynistic to me. Like, if you really think about it, right? If you really think about it, it's, like, a little bit misogynistic to call us birthing people. So I can frame it like that, right? And actually, that's actually a good point. Because, like, nobody wants to be called a birthing person. And if you really think about it, like, the trans people are hurting themselves by forcing people to call themselves birthing people. They're not really forcing people, I guess, but like it's kind of like forcing people because you're still making them write it down on a form. And so I'm going to go talk about that. Yeah. We'll talk about that. And then I can make the money while also making a good point. And then we'll take it a little bit further, right? We'll talk about how like, oh, Tucker Carlson is actually doing good work, you see, because he's actually, or like whatever she talked about at the last Republican convention or whatever. You know, like, oh, if you think like, who was that one union leader who went on that Republican convention last year before the election, the Republican National Committee, I think, the union leader went up there and like Anna glazed him for like, oh, he's reaching out to both sides, right? Like Sean Fain, complete fucking traitorous scumfuck. And she glazed him for like trying to reach out to both sides. And no, guys, trust me, this is actually good. If you think about it, if you really think about it, this is actually pretty good. Because if you think about it, Sean Fain went up there and tried to unite people. And that's what unions are all about at the end of the day, is uniting the leftists with the well, not the fascists. I don't want to call them fascists. They're just like regular, normal ass working people who happen to hate trans and black people. But they're like working people. So like, it's fine if I do that. Because we're actually at the end of the day uniting people. So like, yeah, here, give me the paycheck. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Paycheck secured. It's in my bank account. Now I can keep talking about how Sean Fain was actually like, my point in all this is a very long-winded way of saying she is internally justifying all of this. She has not even fully bought it herself. She's acting like she is still convincing herself that all of this is the correct thing to do, which she is. She is constantly trying to what's the word? Reconcile. She's constantly trying to reconcile her true beliefs, which I don't think she ever fully let go of, with the paycheck. And tell herself it's fine, because if I frame it this way, that's actually a good thing. These dumb leftists don't know what they're talking about. I'm helping them help themselves. You know, like it's tough love. She's doing tough love on us because we don't know what the fuck we're talking about. We can't do good rhetoric. She's been doing this for years. How dare we tell her that what she's doing is wrong? Yeah, she's gaslighting herself. It's a good way of putting it. Okay, there's one more thing in the title. One sec. I thought about going over the brawl in Cincinnati, because that was making the rounds on Twitter. What do you guys think? I don't know if I got the sauce in me right now to go over that. Sure. Guitar Rocker, you think we should? We were talking about it in DMs with our brothers. That's why I thought about it. The problem is I can't really show that much, because it does get kind of brutal, I guess. The all-white community is more interesting. That's true. I saw something about that. That's funny. What happened again? We'll make a short one. This will be short. We'll try to keep this to 5 minutes or less. Who dat?
Didn't even Esmond wise up enough to be fond of Mamdani and ended up saying Nazi shit?
Thank you for the 100 biddies, James. Yes, I do think that he did like Mamdani. Asmongold just goes with wherever the political winds are blowing. When we inevitably shift back, like when the zeitgeist inevitably shifts back toward the left and we go dark woke, we're never going back to like the corporate Target is selling gay shit type woke. You know what I mean? Like, it is dark woke, period, end of story. And when we go back that direction, I do think Asmongold is going to change his tune real fucking quick. And that should be the point at which we decide no. I hope that's when he loses his audience, frankly. Thank you for the 10 biddies. It's just that Tucker and Anna reminded me of that shit. Yeah. Yeah, no more rainbow capitalism. Okay, we're going to make this real quick. So it was brought to my attention that something happened in Cincinnati, the city in which I grew up. End Wokeness posted this a few days ago. 0 AP news stories about this attack. 0 Fox news stories. Blah, 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 blah. Of course, now all the news media is talking about it. If you haven't seen this story yet, and I'm your first, if you haven't seen it yet, then here it is. Somebody was attacked, is what this is getting at. Like, we have 2 pictures here that End Wokeness posted of 2 black men punching down on a white man, and then a image of a woman on the ground after being knocked out. Now, how did we reach this point? I have noticed a funny little thing that happens with white supremacists such as End Wokeness, where they love to, anytime that a black person is being beaten to death by a police officer, or like a black kid gets shot by a police officer, or like a black kid gets shot by some white dude who's the owner of the homeowners association, right? The leader of the homeowners association. Anytime that anything like that happens, they go, context, like parrots, right? They want more context. Oh, we clipped the video. We don't know why the police officer is handcuffing an 8-year-old and traumatizing him. Maybe the 8-year-old, I don't know, killed 10 people first, right? So we love asking for context whenever a black person is the one being attacked. But when it's a white person being attacked, no. You see, the 2 photos here tell the entire story. Black people are, in fact, inferior, and that's why they they unlocked their animal mode and attacked white person. And that is why white people need to be scared of black people, right? No, that's actually really stupid. What actually happened is this white dude, I can't show the entire thing, of course, because it does get pretty brutal and I don't want to get flagged for violence. But I will show you just the lead up to where the guy got the shit beat out of him. So apparently, now I can't verify this, but according to the Melanin Project on Twitter, this altercation escalated over 30 minutes. So if the story being told here is to be believed, this dumbass and one of his friends, I believe, maybe a group of people, were escalating this situation for 30 full minutes in a racist confrontation, okay? That all led up to this moment. They're throwing jabs at each other, but kind of whiffing. You know how it goes. Some guy tries to... one of the black guys, by the way, tries to come in and stop the altercation, which they're not going to tell you on the news. So the guy who steps in between them to try to stop it in the first place is one of the black guys. Just so we're clear.
Hey, these niggas is funny playing a rush.
I don't know if they're all together. I guess it's a little racist to assume that just because he was black and stopped the fight that they're all together. But point being, a black man jumped in to stop it. Didn't see a white guy try to stop it. Boom. Oh no, what was that? Hold on. Let's try that again. So the fight has been stopped by a black person. Oh. And there we go. And from there, it escalates. And that's where I'll stop it. If you would like to check out the rest of the clip for yourself, Dubsy or whoever edits this, remind me to link this in the description. So that's the full context. So, once again, I can't verify that these people were being racist, but what I can verify is that a white man and a black man were in a fight. A black man comes in to stop the fight, gets between them, and then the white guy decides to slap the black guy, and then the altercation ensues. The white guy gets the fucking snot beat out of him, and then along with that, a woman gets caught up in the confrontation, and she gets knocked down as well. 5 people have been arrested, and you know, this is just missing context, unfortunately. But you know, they love asking for context when a black person is being attacked, but not when a white person is being attacked. I'm glad we asked Grok for Grok's opinion. I was really curious about that. Thank you, Grok. So yeah, all the comments are disgusting. They're all just like racism baiting, obviously, or not racism baiting. They are just being racist pieces of shit. Like everybody who's talking about this right now and their mothers are just like being the most racist beings on the human planet, or on the human planet, in the human race on the planet. Isn't that just a street fight then? It is, in fact, some might say, just a street fight. Worth noting also, this was an event of about 130,000 people, and this was the single fight that took place. Street fights like this happen sometimes, okay? The reason that this is making national headlines is because it can be racialized. Somebody recorded it, and we can clip it out of context to make it look like the black people are animals. That's what this is all about. That's why this made national headlines. Let's not get it twisted, okay? Yes, I think that the response was disproportional. Just to be clear, I do think that the response was disproportional. Okay? But I will say I don't feel that bad for this motherfucker because he was the one being racist and pushing the attack anyway. He asked for this. He asked for this. Okay? Sorry, he did. I don't care that much. I don't know about her. It looks like at some point she was trying to step in to stop it, but then got knocked out herself. I'm going to be lenient toward her and say that she was an unfortunate victim in this circumstance, and that they should not have attacked her, and they should get in trouble for it. Okay? I do think that everybody involved here, minus this woman, which I didn't see her hit anybody or attack anybody, I do think everybody involved should get some kind of punishment for this. I do. But that includes this guy, too. You know, like, obviously I don't like it when things like this happen, but the reason this happened, quite ironically, is a result of anti-black racism, if the story is to be believed from the Melanin Project. I'm not sure. I guess we'll get more details as police reports come out. I don't know how closely I'll be covering this, but it was within my vicinity. So I just decided I'd go over it real quick and give my thoughts. Like I said, I'll leave a link to the full context in the description for you to go over it and form your own thoughts. But this is very clearly just being shuffled around as anti-black sentiment in a very, fascist environment that the United States is unfortunately in. So I just wanted to set the record straight, say, obviously it's not okay that they did this, that this happened. But the white guy did escalate it. Okay? And it was a black man that came in to try to stop it. So, if we're going to call one group or the other animals, like if we're forced to, I'm going to go with the white guy. Why does it just automatically play? I don't like that. This didn't get immediate attention because it's not noteworthy. Right, like my thing is like I'm covering so many other fucking things. Like, did you know that children are starving in Gaza right now? Yeah, some people got in a fight and people got arrested for assault and battery, yeah. This is like during BLM protests in 2020 when a crazy black guy killed a white kid and went to jail, and Fox News went all, why don't they care about this? And it's because the system did its job. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, a murder took place, and then the murderer got arrested. That's newsworthy, but it's not like racism. Like, that's just something that happens. What's newsworthy, also, and what is racism, is when white cops kill black people and then get away with it. And sometimes black cops kill black people, too. Black cops can also be anti-black racist. It's a systemic problem that pervades all communities and all colors and all races and genders and whatever. Thank you for the 45 bits. Seriously, though, I can't stop getting ads about the newest season of King of the Hill. Why are we still talking about King of the Hill? They did a bit where Hank has to enter an all-gender bathroom, and then he asks if he's all-gender or some shit like that. It's so weird. That is very odd. I mean, usually with bits like that in King of the Hill, though, he, learns his lesson. Where it's like, oh, I don't understand this all gender thing. And then it's like at the end of the episode, he's like, well, now that I think about it, it actually is more accommodating that way. And blah, 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 blah. I'm still a Republican grill or whatever. But also, the NBs aren't that bad, I guess. I can't do a very good Hank Hill. God dang it, Bobby. There we go. Just had to get the catchphrase.
I only bring it up because it's literally the only YouTube ad I am getting.
Ah, see, that's your problem. You need YouTube Premium. Thank you very much for another 100 Twitch, 100 biddies. Okay, back to what I actually had in the title. But first I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'll read this first.
Nah, I watch ads when I watch Alec Gunter to increase revenue, of course. And if not for Alec, then for Hunter or Vaush.
Thank you for another 100 biddies. I get money regardless of whether you watch my videos with YouTube Premium or if you watch it with the ads. Both of them give me money. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna try to eat while we go over this next segment. Because, I'm gonna try to hop off by 9, which is in a little bit less than an hour, so I can go to the gym. But, I need to eat first. Video game OST music tends to have a looser copyright strike rules. Else all game streamers will get nuked instantly. The Josh Gill. This is from Super Mario Sunshine. Isn't this like copyright protected as fuck? No. Video game music tends to be safe, like copyright safe, because as Travis T said, otherwise video game streamers and YouTubers would get nuked off the platform. It's an arbitrary rule. There's really no reason, that legal reason, that video game companies couldn't come after you for that. And some do sometimes. Like, Sonic, I actually can't play City Escape or Live and Learn. I can't play those two. In fact, I would be hesitant to even play Sonic Adventure 2 with either of those playing because you can get copyright struck for those. Now, if you appeal it, you might be fine. But during the appealing process, you still have to, like, you're still losing money, which sucks. I found a Canadian streamer you might like. That's pretty cool. Where'd he go? I don't know. Who knows?
Last 100 before I go back to watching idiots in cars. But holy shit, the PS6 is already on the way and nobody's gonna be able to afford it, SMH.
How the fuck is the PS6 already on the way? Thank you for another 100 biddies. Like, my wife and I still can't afford a 5. Don't they have like 3 games for it too? Like, let's be real here. There are like 3 games out for PS5. And most, like, 2 of them are PS4 compatible. Okay.
Perhaps you have seen I was detained.
One second. Alright, this video is going to be about a fella known as the Golden One. This was a content suggestion from the Discord server. If you'd like to leave your content suggestions, you can go to the Discord server, which W likes to leave a QR code to on the screen if you're watching on the YouTube video. Otherwise, you can find the link to the Discord down in the description below. Leave all your juicy content suggestions in the Juicebox channel, where I will consider them, not guaranteed, but I will consider them for a segment, such as this one. So the Golden One. I don't think I've ever gone over him on this channel before. He is a white supremacist, white nationalist, probably a Nazi if I had to guess. They're not one and the same, but they usually go hand in hand. Scumfuck piece of shit, as far as I'm aware. And I'm fine with poisoning the well with him like that because that's just what he is. So, him being that person, and then also getting detained and deported in the United States, is funny as fuck, to be honest. I can't believe, like, I'll be honest, with how good he looks, he does keep himself very clean, okay? Like, he's got long, luscious locks that I'll never have. His facial hair is well-groomed. He really works out. Like, he's, like, very well built. Like, he maintains a very good appearance here, is what my point is. And he does all of that, and so that basically makes him, like, the icon, like, the ideal icon for any white supremacist scumfuck, right? Like, oh, he's, like, peak humanity, masculinity, blah-de-blah, right? And, you know, he does take very good care of himself, but all that aside, he's a, you know, it's sprinkles on a turd, right? He's a sprinkled turd is what I like to call him. And as I said, this all makes it very funny that he is Canadian and therefore got detained and deported for being in the United States, at least according to him. That is hilarious to me. So I would like to laugh at him for being a scumfuck piece of shit and also getting deported and playing himself.
Alright, perhaps you have seen I was detained and deported from Canada. I was supposed to hold a speech this Saturday, but the Canadian regime...
Watch Bomber Guy's vid on him. I will not do that now, but thank you. I will definitely watch it now that you've mentioned that. Bomber Guy has bomb content, so to speak.
They did not approve of that plan. So essentially, long story short, when I got to Canada, I was held up at the customs, and then I was interrogated by a policeman for a long while, and this was after like 12 hours of travel. So I was a bit tired, to say the least, and then a lot of waiting because they had to, he had to talk to his superiors and everything like that, and then...
Wow, are you telling me even like the most like white supremacist nationalist scumfuck piece of shit is like, yeah, anti-immigration policies kind of messed me up a little bit. Like, you're admitting it, bro. You're admitting that anti-immigration sucks. It sucks. Okay? You can't say that, though, because that goes against your agenda, your echo chamber.
Finally, I was called into their office, and they have pulled up a long list of different hit pieces, and they wanted me to respond to them, which I did. I think I gave a good account of my views. So of course, different setting, being interrogated by a police in the middle of the night, not having...
Oh no, they saw suspicious content from him, and they're like, can you tell us a little bit about your views? If he was honest with them, I'm glad that they kept him in fucking Canada. Yeah, stay out of my country.
Slept or eaten for a very long time, but I'm so used to responding to these questions anyway. So yeah, I gave him a good lesson in metapolitics and the situation of
he gave him a
Europe.
lesson, guys.
I don't know how much he was actually behind the questions. I think he just got a list.
He gave them a good lesson on metapolitics and like the state of Europe. That's so funny. Some customs agent is like sitting there listening to him screech about how Muslims are like taking over Europe and destroying the white race, and he's just sitting there nodding and like with his little pen like like fuck customs and border patrol, but like also that's really funny.
List of questions from his superiors that they wanted him to ask. So some quite silly questions as well. I'm not going to go through them all, but yeah, I gave a good response to everything, and I said to him, I have done absolutely nothing wrong. I have a clean criminal record. I haven't said anything.
I basically owned this random customs agent in the marketplace of ideas. I destroyed him intellectually, if you think about it.
Hateful either. You can go through all of my stuff, and he actually watched some of my videos, and he said that he didn't find any strange things. Then they asked about Paul Wagner, who was also supposed to show up to speak at the event, and I said to them, you have to ask him all of these questions, but I've followed him on social media for over 10 years. I've never seen him post anything hateful, and you're free to watch his content as well, because it's not what it's about. It's motivating philosophy, basically. Then they asked about his tattoos as well, and yeah, I mean, I said you have to ask him about his tattoos. I really don't know, but in Sweden it's not illegal to have tattoos. In the US it's not illegal to have tattoos. Maybe they look super scary, but ultimately...
Wow. Who would have guessed that the tattoo thing would come back to bite you in the ass? It's almost like, people have been shrieking this from the rooftops, that conservative policies will come back to bite you in the ass. I am literally, like, safer at the border because I don't have tattoos, which I do want tattoos, mind you, but like I'm safer at the border because I don't have them, and they don't consider that like degenerate or sign of being affiliated with a gang or anything like that. It comes back to bite you too, motherfucker. It doesn't matter how... Look at this, like... I'll be real, guys. He is what all white nationalists think they are. He's like their ideal man. Okay? He got the blonde hair, the blue eyes, he takes good care of himself, and even still, he got stopped at the border because he has tattoos. They will come for all of you.
I don't think it's illegal in Canada to have
dumbasses
tattoos either. So anyway, a lot of really, really strange questions, and I got the feeling that they sort of wanted to to almost prod me or goad me into saying something they could hold against me. But you know, I'm a veteran at the game, so I gave a good account and kept my guard up, so to speak. So anyway, after a long while, they said to me, you have two options: either we put you on a flight back, or we, if you do want still to try to get into Canada, we need to continue the investigation. And I sort of knew that this was a way for them to...
No, he was going from the US to Canada? He's from Canada, right? I'm confused as to like the course of events here. So he was trying to get from the US back to Canada because he's from Canada, right? I don't know.
Save face, because then they could say like,
Point is, he was stopped at the border because the border patrol is, or he's I know he's Swedish. I'm saying he lives in Canada, right? Like, he was visiting the United States. He was trying to get back to Canada, and they stopped him at the border because he's not from here, right? I don't know.
This was actually his choice to go back, so I understood where it was all headed. So I said, yeah.
Hold on.
And I sort of knew that this was a way for them to save face, because then they could say like, oh, this was actually his choice to go back. So I understood where it was all headed. So I said, yeah.
Okay. So what they're saying is, so they gave him a choice to, so he was trying to go from Canada to the United States. So they gave him a choice. They said, you can they basically gave him the same choice that, like, I remember my high school gave this one guy who got in trouble for taking an upskirt shot of a teacher. They said you can either you can either leave the school willingly, voluntarily, and that way they don't have to like put on record that it's an expulsion, or we'll expel you. And so he left voluntarily, of course, because that benefits all parties. They did the same thing here. They basically told the guy, like, you can either go back on your own or we're going to deport you. So they wanted to make it look like he went back of his own accord.
On the next flight back, I have no interest at all being here, being detained for any longer. Can't talk to you.
Pussy shit. Pussy shit. Pussy shit. Not gonna lie. Not saying that I wouldn't do the same thing, but I'm fine with being labeled a pussy. You are being a pussy, though. You're not... Like, with all your swagger and all of your, like, optic frogging or whatever, like, that's pussy shit. You should have been like, no. If you want me to go back, you're going to have to, like, force me. You're going to have to force me and then mark it down as, like, a deportation. It was not a deportation. He technically went of his own accord. I'm just saying.
Julia, my wife. By the way, shout out to my lovely wife Julia. She always has my back. She knew something was off, so she was ready with all of the numbers, the diplomatic numbers, should it come to it. But before it came to that, I got my phone back and I could say to her that, you know, I'm heading back. And also I knew that even if they had continued the investigation, they would not have let me in, because they already had their orders from above that you don't want to let this guy in because he's a horrible right-wing extremist. Again, as I always say, I say this maybe once a month in different contexts. Everyone can feel free.
They're stopping people regardless of whether they're right-wing extremists or not. Like, they stopped... Who was that celebrity they stopped? I mean, they stopped a bunch of people. Here, let's look this up real quick. Canadians stopped at border. Yeah. Put off by Trump's rhetoric and border arrests, some Canadians are canceling visits to the U.S. Is there a longer article? Or I guess it's the video. Oh, hold on. What's that? Hello? Why? Stop. Why does it autoplay? I hate Twitter. Yeah, U.S. detention of European and Canadian tourists create fear over traveling to America. Like, this is not just this guy. It's not because of his right-wing extremist views. It's because he's from fucking Canada and not the United States. It's xenophobia. But he can't admit that. It's xenophobia. He is a victim of xenophobia, and he can't even like admit that because that goes against his narrative.
free to look through all of my stuff. I've never said anything extreme or hateful. I'm only ever interested in elevating my own.
Hold on, since he's not like part of the lore on this channel, let's just see. The golden one, YouTube controversy. Rational Wiki. Swedish white nationalist YouTuber, bodybuilder, online fitness coach, creator of one of the dullest Skyrim Let's Plays in the world. That's really funny. A proud pagan Odinist and Onanist who really like... That also is enough to get you fucked by Nazis, like, and white supremacists, and Christian nationalists. Support for vigilantism, on women's rights. Encourages young men to forcibly prevent their female loved ones from leaving home at night. His rationale is that he's keeping them safe from Middle Eastern immigrants who want to rape them. Apparently, for all his knowledge about getting juicy, he has a relatively poor understanding of human rights, namely the 9th right of protection from arbitrary arrest, imprisonment, or exile. Associating homosexuality with pedophilia. In 2015, a 12-year-old boy was recorded on video twerking at a gay pride event. The Golden One criticizes the gay community for not speaking out about this. He then implies that gay rights, as he calls them, should not be legal unless the gay community can control its members. Notwithstanding the fact that a very large proportion of the gay community does respond unfavorably to pedophiles, this is a fallacious argument. A community can be defined as, but is not necessarily a group of people. So anyway, he's like, he calls homosexual people pedophiles. He's anti-porn, alleged conspiracies against him. So yeah, I mean, these are just all normal views, right? They're like not like extreme at all, of course. Very normal.
So anyway, you might ask, why did this happen? And the simplest way to respond to it is
xenophobia.
That if you know, if you understand, you understand. If you don't understand, it's hard to explain. But to explain it, Canada is a totalitarian, liberal, left-wing regime. They have no interest in having a quote-unquote right-wing extremist coming to their country to...
Hold on, I'm confused again. Is it Canada who's stopping them from going to Canada, or is he from Canada and he's trying to get back to Canada?
Hold a speech. So yeah, I was supposed to hold a speech this Saturday. It was about initiation rites, funnily enough, because one of the points of an initiation rite is that you go through something unpleasant and you're sort of transformed by the experience. And this was an unpleasant experience, I can tell you. It was not fun at all. I will say though that the policemen and women I had to deal with, they were all professional and kind, very attentive even, which made it all even...
Right, we still have to lick the ass of the police officers. Don't worry, we're not anti-police.
More absurd that I was a prisoner for a while because my flight was more than 10 hours away. They had to detain...
They were only detaining me, bro. Let me just lick their boots real quick.
Detain me while I waited for my flight. So I was literally imprisoned for a while, but they, you know, they were attentive. They asked if I wanted food, and they gave me plenty of food as well, and coffee and everything.
See, he's licking your fucking boots,
and I even got
man.
to have
That's
my phone
shit.
While being detained, which is usually...
Oh, I know you're abusing me, Daddy State, but please, you're also being nice. I would never trash talk you, Daddy State. Ooh, please fuck my ass harder, actually.
Really not the case, because I said, you know, I need to talk to my wife, and they said, yeah, you can even call her if you want. So they were nice and understanding, with the exception of the additional security check when I was about to board. On the way back, they confiscated my 2 calligraphy pens. So if anyone has a lot of Bitcoin, you can send 1 or 2 Bitcoins my way to compensate for the loss of the calligraphy pens. They said they would send them in the mail, but who knows if they will actually do it. So that was a bit spiteful and petty, I thought, but otherwise it's all good, and it felt like...
They were so nice and kind to me, guys. You don't understand. They were so nice, but they also stole my 2 pens that I really like. But it's fine. They were nice. But it's fine. I'm not stressing about it. They were nice. They treated me good, okay? They had good aftercare.
Like, it almost felt like the policemen and women, they were a bit ashamed of what they had to do there to detain me. So it was all like a big theater. They had gotten orders from above saying, don't let this
they were just following orders, guys.
So anyway, that was the long story put short. I could talk a lot more about it. Maybe I will do so in my next podcast episode. Definitely an unpleasant experience. I'm trying to be as stoic as possible in these situations. While in detention, I did some breathing exercises, so the alternate nostril breathing. I did some meditation, some yoga. I got some reading done as well. So I tried to do the best out of a bad situation, and you can always try to make the best out of a situation. That said, I also need to be honest and say that I felt a bit, it didn't feel good at all, and I felt quite physically bad coming back as well.
Okay, wait. Jimmy Mikes, the person who said this, also posted, who sent this, also posted
One of the
context.
things that never stops being deeply cringe to me as a journalist who covers far-right extremism are the people who actually subscribe to these ideologies. And they're like white nationalist meetups. Because yes, they genuinely hold them. In fact, there's one happening in the lower mainland of BC this weekend. Massive shout out to the journalist Christy Somos for the tip about this, because now I get to mock them for the next 5 minutes. Yes, this is one of them. And here's another. While simultaneously filling you in on this very real problem. Now, I should start off by saying that this is a very pathetic event, because their two main stars, if you can call them that, didn't get through the border. Well, one was stopped. The other was too scared to try. And it's so funny how badly these guys want to be victims. The planners of the event posted about how after witnessing the, quote, disgraceful treatment of the golden one. Sorry. Yeah, that's literally what he calls himself. And I need you guys to know that I Googled.
It is a very lame name.
Googled this guy, and I found this video.
The question at hand is, can you be short and alpha?
These are their heroes.
Oh no, he's short. That's what it is. Okay. Okay. Yep. Listen, no shade to my short kings. Okay. But that explains so much. It explains everything.
Anyways, after the golden one was stopped at the border, the other speaker, Paul.
He's compensating.
Sorry, the golden one and Paul. I'm getting distracted.
He's probably also not just short either.
But this is
there are
Paul.
a few other things
and the
lacking
organizer said
inches.
he decided, quote, not to risk attempting entry himself, knowing he would certainly face similar treatment from Canadian authorities hell-bent on restricting free speech and association. So he was scared. Now, before I laugh about these guys too much, I do need to acknowledge that the hate underpinning the event is very real and genuinely concerning. I reached out to Elizabeth Simons from the Canadian Anti-Hate Network, who are basically the top experts in Canada when it comes to far-right extremism and hate. And she told me this, quote, it's clear from some of the planned speakers and the social media channels marketing the conference that this event is intended for white nationalists and neo-Nazis. Content on these social media accounts include neo-Nazi imagery and symbols. Their goals appear to include networking and movement building.
That's so lame. Like, this is horrific design choice here. Look at this. Like, the knight armor is fine. The torch is fine, but like, the flames, the style of the flames don't match at all. And then you got this ugly ass Nazi symbol in the middle with the border. It's just a white Nazi symbol with a border on it. No, it all clashes. This is awful. This is abysmal. This is why Nazis can't do art.
To advance a fascist, anti-democratic, and
this is why
exclusionary
This is why Hitler did not make it into art school.
View couched in how they perceive history and philosophy. So yeah, the event.
And yeah, just one S, true. Yeah, because they're pussies. You know what communists do? They don't. Here, you know what they don't do? They don't just put the hammer or the sickle. They always fucking put both.
Is bad. On top of that, you know the fascist fight clubs that I've reported on for ages and that CBC recently finally covered too? Well, they're boosting this event. Like, this is the event being promoted by an active club that took credit for this mass deportations now demonstration.
The rays are in the wrong direction and do not fit there. True, like, what the fuck? Like, shouldn't these be on top? I almost want to fix this if it weren't a Nazi symbol. I, like, feel the urge to correct this person on, like, everything wrong with this. Like, again, the styles this was clearly put together by some fucking idiot who found out how to use the basic tools on Photoshop. It sucks.
On top of that, you know, the fascist fight clubs that I've reported on for ages and that CBC recently finally covered too? Well, they're boosting this event. Like, this is the event being promoted by an active club that took credit for this mass deportations now demo.
Not an S, it's a Futhark rune associated with the white supremacy. Listen, I saw an S, so I called it an S. I'm not a white supremacist. I didn't do my reading on white supremacist glyphs. Sorry.
Demonstration in Hamilton. Diagolon leader Jeremy McKenzie, whose group is tied to
All I know is that it's very nice of anybody with a tattoo of that to leave a target on their body.
the active club Second Sons, said our guys will be there making friends. Before adding the line, Canada is our home, everyone else is simply a guest. I didn't know he was Indigenous. Oh, he's not, yeah. Another prominent member of Diagolon, Alex Brand, who we know is a member of the...
Okay, I think that's enough context. We get it. So he was trying to... Okay, so the context here is not necessarily... I was wrong. It's not that the United States Border Patrol stopped him. It's that Canadian Border Patrol stopped him because he is a white nationalist going into the country to explicitly spread white nationalism at a Nazi event. That is what he was going there to do. That's why they stopped him, and that's why they told him to go back. Which is very funny to me. And honestly, I wish the United States did more of that. Stop deporting the fucking farm workers that give us crops and start deporting these motherfuckers. I don't even care if they were born here. Ship their asses to Nicaragua. I don't care.
Traveling there 12 hours, being detained for...
Get them out of here.
I don't know, 18 hours or so. And then...
Send them to the Sahara Desert. Let them duke it out there. They're libertarians, right? A lot of them.
And being sent back
They'll
12 hours more, so I felt quite wrecked in my body. You can even hear it on my voice now that I'm still not
he's
completely
so tired.
well. And of course, had I been in charge, when I'm in charge of hopefully Sweden, then I will not tolerate this sort of behavior being done to any of our citizens. So if they are, you know, a law-abiding citizen that has done nothing wrong, this is not something you can do to them. Being held up and sent back like this, absolutely not possible. Now, of course, we don't...
Wow, a law-abiding citizen who has done nothing wrong. You can't send them back like this.
Don't really have any proper men in charge of Sweden, so I don't expect it to be anything more coming out of this. But in the future, I can you say that this type of behavior will not be accepted. So I'm not blaming the...
Don't worry, guys. In the future, I'm really going to pop off. When this happens again, okay? I didn't do it this time, but next time I won't be a pussy. Don't worry.
Any of the police in Canada, you're only doing your job.
He's
you
still
are
licking
only
their
following
boots.
orders, but still it can't be tolerated, this type of behavior at all. Now, I also want to say that even though this was a thoroughly unpleasant experience, I'm happy to take this type of hits because it reduces the credibility of the regime. Their story, their narrative about themselves, what they tell themselves and what they tell their citizens and the world, so in this case the Canadian regime, they say we are the tolerant...
It's just really funny how he was literally like trying to visit Canada and he was told, no, go home. And he wants to do the same thing to people who are like actually coming into the United States because they are suffering. Because they are trying to build a better life for themselves and their families. And he's bitching and moaning about this. And then turns around and says, yeah, but I'm not brown, so it's fine. I'm not brown. Listen, I'm not brown. I'm not one of those people. Right? I was there to do good things, like tell people that gay people suck and that the white race is good. Not like those fucking brown people who try to come into my country and do what? Farm? Provide us with food? I think not. You go home. But I get to go wherever I want. That's my privilege. That's my privilege as a white boy. Yeah. You took away my privilege. No!
Liberals, we are for freedom, we're for all of the good things in life, but then they show themselves to not be this in the list. So whenever they expose themselves in this way, they lose credibility, and that always comes before the fall of...
Why does he sound like a fucking liberal? This is liberal behavior. Don't worry, guys, I took the high road. I didn't put up a fight, and the police officers are actually good people, good, well-to-do people. Who, the police officers, you know what? They detained me, and the entire time they were shaking their heads like this. They were, and I even heard one of them do a little tut-tut. Yeah, and then they gave me food, guys. Okay? But I took the high road. You understand? I went high, they went low. And people will see soon enough. Like, you sound like a fucking liberal, dude. What happened? What happened? What happened to manhood? You know? Like, I thought we were, I thought the golden one here was like an alpha chat or whatever. He's looking quite beta, submissive and feminine here, if I do say so myself.
Regime. Now, speaking of which, I said in a recent video that I will not go back to the US and that I've declined many invitations to the US because I didn't.
Okay, so he's not from the US, he's from Sweden. So he actually does live in Sweden. Sorry, I'm getting my locations mixed up all over the place. Ignore me.
Didn't want to go to the US because I was a bit worried about this exact thing happening. I didn't count on Canada, which in retrospect I should have done when I accepted the invitation a few months ago. I should have known that this would be the case, because after all, during the COVID crisis, the Canadian regime, they were quite heavy-handed, so I should have known better. But anyway, now I know, and now you know that the Canadian regime is anything but liberal in that sense of the word, or tolerant. So now they have damaged their own gravitas, their own credibility.
Hold on, what?
Regime is anything but liberal in that sense of the word, or tolerant. So
why are you are literally preaching intolerance, my brother. Why would they be tolerant toward you? Also, when did you become the party of tolerance? When did Nazis suddenly want tolerance all of a sudden? Oh, boo-hoo, like they didn't tolerate me. Okay. When did you care about tolerance? Like, ever? What?
now they have damaged their own gravitas.
You sure did tolerate that police boot in your mouth.
Their own credibility, and yeah, I'm, despite the health damage caused to me, being tormented, I will be honest, you know, I don't wanna...
Oh my god, he is actually a pussy. Being tormented. Oh my god, the police none of this makes any sense. They were really mean to me, but also the police were really nice. They tormented me, but also they fed me and gave me water and a place to stay while they detained me. Like, don't worry, guys. The police were shaking their heads like this while they were doing really bad things to me. You are a bitch. You are a little bitch. Like, this is insane behavior from this man. Crazy, quote-unquote man, I should say.
View myself as a victim, but you know, I also need to be open and honest.
Don't worry, guys. I know that I sound like a victim, but trust me, I'm not viewing myself as a victim in this exchange. Trust me.
Which I have been mistreated. Let's be real. So not a pleasant thing, but the
hold on, go back.
Damn, and yeah, I'm, despite the health damage caused to me, being tormented, I will be honest. You know, I don't wanna view myself as a victim.
What health damage? What? I wanted to let it play out, but like, what? How were you hurt? Which one? Who touched you and where? Like, what happened? Are you talking about like mental health damage? Like, I can buy that, but also like, isn't that the type of shit that you shit on other people for? Like micro aggressions or some shit? Like, oh, sticks and stones break my bones type shit. Like, you were not hurt physically. If you want to argue that you were hurt mentally, then sure. But you're also sitting here telling me that the police officers were good to you. Like, none of this adds up, man. You just sound like a bitch. You are a bitch.
But you know, I also need to be open and honest if I feel mistreated, which I have been mistreated. Let's be real. So not a pleasant thing, but
they didn't treat me well.
The positive thing at least is that they have damaged their own credibility, and this is a sign of weakness. If someone is confident,
unlike me, who is showing no signs of weakness in this moment,
in their own ideology, in their own narrative, in their own story, they will not treat someone like this, because then they know that the narrative of this individual, it will not threaten us. But now, since I managed to present our vision, a better narrative, a better story, more righteous moral framework, then they are worried. So that is why they attack me, because I have a legitimate vision that many people can believe in. So every well-adjusted person will agree with me. It's simply how it is. It might sound a bit cocky to say that, but it's literally the case that every normal person agrees with me. It's simply the case. Otherwise,
no, you were going to a Nazi rally. Most people fucking hate Nazis. Most people want to kill Nazis, okay? Or at the very least bully them, which I think is fine, because Nazis are a tumor. You are one cell in a larger tumor, my guy. Like, it's good that they kept you out.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have to lie all the time. And as I said to the police officer who interrogated me, you know, all of these labels that these hit pieces you're reading from, they call me a fascist, a right-wing extremist, everything like that.
No.
They're only labels. They're only labels, just as you would call someone a heretic in the Middle Ages or a witch in the early modern period.
Oh my God.
They're labels.
Guys, I'm just like the witches they burned at the stake. You don't understand. I'm literally being burned at the stake right now. The flames are licking my feet right now. That it sounded weird to say it that way. What? But you get my point. Like my guy, you're fine. You're fine. Okay. You literally said the police treated you nicely. They wouldn't have done the same thing if you were brown.
Used to silence me, but if you look at my stuff, you won't find anything hateful in it. And also a message to the policeman who interrogated me. I know.
No, you won't find anything hateful. You were on your way to a Nazi rally. Come on, bro.
You've been watching a few of my videos now. I hope you are subscribed, and I hope you...
How did they damage their credibility? Like, if I had to guess what he means, it's like they're damaging their credibility by saying they're tolerant and then not tolerating intolerant views, which is really fucking stupid. Like, fascists have this idea, like, they're cry bullying. They're saying you won't tolerate the fact that I hate brown people or that I hate gay people and want to kill them and throw them off of buildings. By the way, like brown people are throwing gay people off of buildings in the Middle East. Did you know that? But also like they won't tolerate me and my special little ideas. Like it's cry bully shit. And so he's saying that like they're damaging their tolerant credibility or whatever. When no, like in order to be a tolerant society, you have to excise intolerance like this cancerous piece of shit.
Show my videos to your colleagues, you say to them, so they wonder who was this magnificent and polite man we dealt with, and then you say, yeah, this is the golden one and this is what he stands for. And I didn't find anything bad with what he said. He has made perfect sense and he gives great advice. So say that to your colleagues and I would be much... I would be full of gratitude if you could do that. No, funnily enough, the speech I was supposed to hold, it was going to be about initiation rites. So, you know, when you do something unpleasant that pushes you to the limit and then you gain new insights from it. That's part of an initiation rite.
Like hazing? Nazis like doing that too. Like the Proud Boys do like hazing rituals and shit. They're very homoerotic, like abusive hazing rituals. I think that's what he's referring to. I could be wrong.
So for me, this was actually a part of a sort of an initiation rite. It was the first time something like this happened to me. So being detained and questioned like this. So both physically challenging, you know, thinking clearly, giving solid good answers when not having slept for a long time, being traveled, you're completely wrecked, you know, physically, but still giving a good account of yourself, which I think I did. I think I gave a good account, and you know, I kept my guard up and gave him a good lesson in the situation in Europe and the Western metapolitics and everything like that. So yeah, anyway, the insights I got was I felt a very deep sense of gratitude, a deep sense of love for my wife, my daughters, the luxury of living here in Sweden. So I thought, what a nice place to be after all. So now I don't want to leave Europe again. I don't even want to leave Sweden again for a very long time. And
good, stay there. Stay there. Don't ever come to the United States. Stay the fuck out. Disgusting.
For sure, I will not go back to Canada. I will not go back to the US, and I will probably not leave Europe for a very long time. So I feel very grateful for being here. So
I mean, preferably he'd live in like the middle of the Sahara, away from. We don't want him here either. Yeah, like preferably he'd like go to the middle of the Sahara, right, and just like live out the rest of his life there.
It's also
leave the rest of us
alone.
alone.
Keep in mind that when
he can take a few white people with him, they can inbreed themselves to death.
unpleasant things happen to you, you can always feel grateful for the good things you have. So coming back to Sweden, it felt absolutely great. It felt absolutely great. So now I will go to a sacred lake to swim.
He really thinks he did something. He's like saying all this as like he's some kind of fucking hero. Like, you're such a pussy, man. Like, you could be so much better than this. Like, you clearly take care of yourself. You clearly care about your appearance and optics and whatever else. I won't even, like, dog you on your style. Like, you clearly dress well. You take good care of yourself. I don't understand where this well, I understand where it's coming from. It's because you're short, right? You're short. Like, that's what it is. You're insecure about being short. Maybe even having a, you know, I won't go there. I won't go there. You're definitely compensating for something, but you don't have to do that. You know, you can just be yourself and let other people be themselves. I'm just saying.
To cleanse myself, and then I will
Antarctica?
think about it.
No. The penguins do not deserve that.
Contrast of being detained at a bad place, so Vancouver, and now I'm going to one of the nicest places on earth. So that's something you can keep in mind as well. So anyway, I'm quite tired now, to be honest. I made the very latest video I made. I said it's
okay, I'm bored now. Yeah, that was pathetic, man. Sorry that I fucked up in the beginning. It's clear to me now what happened. He's from Sweden. He tried to fly from Sweden to Canada, and they basically told him to go home because he's a white nationalist prick who was there to do a Nazi rally and talk about initiation, I guess. Here, let me see that. Nazi initiation. Now I have that in my Google search history. Occultism and Nazism. No, this isn't it. Let's try white supremacist initiation. A deep dive into Roger Stone's... Wait. Ugh, fuck me. Thanks, Business Insider. Is this it? Breaking the Body of Christ, the Sacraments of Initiation in a Habitat of White Supremacy. Since the racially segregated space of the United States operates as a habitat of white supremacy, the vice of white supremacy pervades the church's corporate body and thereby permeates all of its practices, including those of baptism and the Eucharist. Rather than turning the church's sacraments as an antidote to the vices of a presumed external culture, this paper chronicles the ways in which these very practices have been corrupted by it. The church cannot reform itself from within. In order to enable these he's a pagan, so it's not about the church. I don't know. I think what he's referring to is basically hazing. Feel free to correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I think Antarctica would be a great place for him. Yeah, if he like lived in the ocean, sure. The whales can have him. Yeah, I don't know. This whole thing was just like a very whiny tirade about being stopped at the border because of, you know, actual things that he's done and said. Being told that, no, we actually don't want Nazis in our country, and then being told to go the fuck home. Apparently the police treated him very nicely, but despite that, he was still very psychologically and emotionally damaged by this, and is going to need a very lengthy support process in order to help him get over the PTSD from the absolute trauma of the situation. It's sad. It's very sad. He's a weak man. You know, he's just a weak and frail little boy, you see. So, like, we have to treat him very nicely and be, you know, accommodating to his intolerant views of brown people and gay people. Otherwise, he'll get very sad and cry. Do you really want him to get very sad and cry, guys? I mean, I do, but, you know. That's probably just because I'm intolerant of him.
One of the things that never stops being deeply cringe to me as a
There's one more thing I wanted to go over, and then I'm logging off because I got to go work out. Surprise segment.
Joining me is the man.
Excuse me. So many of you have probably seen the Surrounded Jubilee episode that featured Mehdi Hassan surrounded by 20 fascists, or at the very least enough fascists that the people who went up immediately basically called themselves fascists. There was like one guy I remember watching who was like questioning himself the entire time, and they basically voted him, like Mehdi Hassan was just sitting there very concerned for him, and he was basically voted out immediately because, one, because he was brown, and two, because like it seemed like he was genuinely wondering what the fuck he was doing there. All that's beside the point though. One of the Surrounded members named, I guess Pine Sap is his name online. His real name is Connor Estelle, and he is the mayonnaise-faced fascist who basically like went viral for calling himself a fascist, supposedly lost his job, and then proceeded to raise over $30,000 on a Christian fundraising website. Very cool stuff. So there are rumors circulating that he actually lost his job in January. I think that that's possible, but I also don't care that much because I believe in firing fascists when they reveal themselves to be fascists. I believe in ousting them from the society and making it known that they're not welcome and not allowing them to raise $30,000 fucking dollars, which is crazy to me. But it was a Christian fundraising website. I don't know what to do about that, but that website should not be allowed to exist in the way it does, in my opinion. Anyway, what is with fascists and having stupid usernames? I don't know. Anyway, Pine Sap is seen here. I'm going to call him Connor, his real name. Connor is seen here. This isn't him, but this is a guy interviewing him called, his channel's called Rift TV. I've never heard of this guy, but, wow, look at the, excuse me, look at the likes to dislikes. That's crazy. But I just wanted to get his, response to being quote unquote fired from his job. I don't know if this was before or after he raised $30,000, but let's just
Joining me is the man, the myth, the legend. Some of you know him as Pine Sap. I'm more new to his content, but apparently not everyone likes it as much as some of you did.
He really is going to try to milk this, and I just don't think it's going to happen for him. I don't think he's got the sauce to, like, you know, blow himself up to a point where this can become his full-time career. You're not that guy, man.
You have a real name.
You are not him.
Your name is Connor, yes? That's actually true. Welcome to the show.
Yes, sir. It's great to
my
be
God.
here.
Look at how fucking... He's like so white he's pink. He looks like a feathered chicken, dog. That's crazy work. The short sleeve button up, buttoned all the way up almost. Like, God, this is really what you got, huh? Like we just got done going over the golden one, who I think is like at least physically the most appealing white supremacist that I've ever seen. But other than him, like most of them just look like this, sacks of mayonnaise. Like this is the vast majority of them. You are not him.
My name's Connor. I'm known as Pine Sap online, and I am a Catholic apologist. And so that's mainly what I do. But
And
I
a
cover
fascist.
politics, current events, kind of happenings in the culture and what have you. And I kind of try to really broach all those subjects.
Ew, why are you looking directly at the camera? You're not really supposed to do that in a format like this. It's gross.
I would say.
Yeah, and I think what was kind of crazy is I know you've been getting attacked a lot. You were just on the Jubilee episode with Kai Schwemmer. I think he was on there. You had Hermes, you call it. I didn't see him go up. Sarah Stock. And you've been getting a lot of heat because, well, let's just say you did a.
What's wrong with his style? Yeah, like at least this guy is like, I don't know, he presents well. The other guy, like, I don't know what's going on with like his shirt. He looks like he stinks really badly.
A very bad thing. You went and you spoke your mind, which you said you're a staunchly right-wing person.
His chin looks like
and
breast.
Apparently,
Stop.
it's not illegal to be that, and it shouldn't be. But in the real world, it actually comes with consequences holding right-wing views, and I think you're facing some of them, aren't you?
Fascist
Absolutely.
views. Dog, you're right though. He needs a mastectomy for his fucking face. That's crazy.
Fortunately, in my confrontation with Mehdi, he was trying to press me and he asked,
"Don't wear a blazer with a t-shirt." Okay, fine. I'm not like stylistically inclined, but he at least looks better than this fucker.
"Well, are you a fascist?" Now,
like look how wrinkled it is too. Like this is not a good look, man.
I am a Catholic at the end of the day. That's my faith, that's my politics, that's what is sort of undergirds my entire ideology, I would say. And I knew that when he was using that term, he wasn't asking me, do I read Mussolini? Do I read Giovanni Gentile or anything like that? He was asking me, do you believe what the church teaches and do you want to see that applied in society? To which I responded, yes, I am. I'm not ashamed of that because those slanderous words, Nazi, fascist, any of those terms.
You said you are a fascist. That's not slander. You said you are one. And you said, by the way, you don't mind being called a Nazi, so therefore it's not slander. You're a Nazi. You already said you don't mind being called that. Sue me.
They don't really mean anything. There's no content to them. They're just kind of used as buzzwords to cancel whoever has real convictions.
Unlike the right, who famously never uses buzzwords to cancel anybody who has real convictions. Certainly not the word woke, the word communist, BLM, CRT, ABC, like they're the alphabet mafia if you really want to be real about it. Like they call us that because of LGBTQ, but at least we, like, even if you want to say like we're adding letters, we're not cycling through the 3-letter abbreviations like CRT, BLM, whatever else, which I feel like they do like on a regular basis.
And kind of real
these days it's woke,
right-wing moral conservative convictions that they want to implement in society. And so frankly,
like what?
I did not want to go down a route of acquiescing to him, apologizing, trying to run in circles. I said, you know what? If you're going to call me that, so be it. But I know at the end of the day that my politics are centered on Jesus Christ, and that's all I...
Dog, you literally called yourself a fascist. You said you are one, and everything that you said proves that you are, in fact, a fascist. You also admitted... You went to hold an election, and then you, like, the only reason that, okay, two things. You want to hold an election and then cancel all elections, cancel democracy, and then you also only care about free speech so that you can cancel everybody else's free speech. You literally admitted the game plan. You said the quiet part out loud. You wanted to do free speech in order to take away the free speech of others. Like, once you reach that point, then no more free speech.
Care about.
Right?
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, he's backtracking real bad. He's a pussy. Who's this now?
Because you brought up how, like, I know what he was really asking, as opposed to what he said he was asking, which is, are you a fascist? Which is, you know, has more to do with your political ideology or, you know, what have you. And as you pointed out, it's all actually about your faith. And the fact that you didn't acquiesce, he was shocked. And I think that's the interesting part. Like, they don't actually expect you to just say, yeah, so, yes, and.
Yes, and, right?
Yeah, that's what you have to answer.
Well, I want to play the clip back.
Except when leftists say yes and, it's about like free healthcare. Like, I'll say, hey, I think that like people should be able to go see the doctor without needing to go into medical debt. And then they'll be like, oh, you're a communist. And I'll say yes and. Yeah, sure, why not? Like, sure, call me a communist. I don't ascribe to communism. But yeah, if you want to call me that, I don't mind being called that, whatever. Free healthcare. For you, it's like, I don't mind being called a fascist if you're accusing me of doing fascism things that I actually want to do, like making sure that everybody is a Catholic and anybody who's not, we deport them or some shit. That is fascism.
Actually, so before we jump into our top stories for today, I just want to give a little background here. So he was on this interaction, and I'm going to tell you guys something. This next interaction seems harmless, but it's okay to be right wing. But it doesn't come without a cost. And you know, a lot of people, it's a LARP, and it's so much fun to do a lot of things.
Yeah, famously, it's not costly at all to be left-wing in this country, right? Certainly not to be trans or gay. Especially trans. Trans people famously have it very well made in this country. All of my trans friends tell me how well their families have treated them and how easy it is to get access to all the things that they want.
Behind an anonymous picture.
Or
the
need.
question is when you're actually pushed to be asked, right? When you're actually asked, do you really hold these values? Or when you're put in a position to really test yourself, are you going to crumble or are you going to double down? You're just saying what you believe. By the way, fascism, you're not saying you support Nazism. You're not saying you support, any fascist leaders. You're just saying you believe that, a stringent government with centralized power and a strong police force that keeps rule and order is something that you believe in, which to me is not weird. It's not.
What rule and order? For what? Slavery was rule and order. You know that, right? Like, black people were made to be property, and that was law and order. And capturing black people who escaped the plantations and sending them back was law and order. You were following the law by doing so. Law and order means nothing without something underlying it. You know what I think is law and order? Making sure that these fucking medical corporations can't steal from people or charge them exuberant amounts of money for medical care, which is stealing. I think that's the law and order that I want. I want law and order to attack people who are actually causing society problems.
Strange.
Say what you really
people
mean.
Believe that. In fact, there are still technically fascist regimes that exist in the world today, some of which we've already collapsed in the last 20 years, especially in the Arab world. But when I saw that, man, I was confused. I was like, I think that is he trying to get fired? Because I know today that almost every job, every sector has been inundated with this DEI bullshit. And they allow—
It's not DEI bullshit to fire somebody who says they're a fascist. My guy went on a national platform that like 8 million, I think it's up to 8 million views. So like 8 million people have seen it and called himself a fucking fascist who hates immigrants. Everybody knows that about him now. Who the fuck would want to hire that guy? That's just common sense. That's capitalism, frankly. I'm not even a fucking capitalist, but that's just bad for business. Oh yeah, that's the other one I was missing. DEI. See, like they are the Alphabet Brigade. The Alphabet Mafia. CRT, BLM, DEI, ABC, EFG, BLT, ETC.
Allow you to believe anything you want except for things that are stringently right-wing, Christian, or heterosexual, orthodoxy.
Absolutely.
And you are in some serious trouble in your personal life over this. Am I right?
That is correct.
Good.
What happened?
Good.
Well, unfortunately, I lost
Not
my
enough,
job as
in
a
my
result,
opinion.
and no one really is to blame for that. It's just the culture that kind of exists currently surrounding the manner in which you're canceled for voicing exactly what you said, any heterosexual, Christian sort of moral belief. That
It is not a heterosexual belief to be homophobic. You can be heterosexual without being homophobic. That is possible, I promise you.
goes beyond sort of the secularism and the relativism that we're so used to in our time. And so that's what I set out to do with Mehdi. He asked me, do you condemn the Holocaust? It's like, well, of course I condemn persecution of anyone, Jews included. I'm a Catholic.
But you can't specifically condemn the Holocaust. It's not, I condemn the, no. You have to say, yes, I condemn the Holocaust and everything that happened. I condemn Hitler killing 6 million Jews and millions more gay and trans people. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, yeah, I condemn when anything does anything bad. Anyone does anything bad. It's all like, anytime anybody does anything bad, I condemn it. It's not condemning the Holocaust.
Like, I don't believe in persecuting anyone, but I'm not going to play your game of let's reference the Holocaust because that's a loaded question. What you're trying to do there is you're trying—
Same motherfucker would turn around and ask if you condemn Hamas,
to
by the way.
insinuate that worldview is going to lead to genocide, chaos, and destruction. But as you said, we see so many regimes where that's exactly the opposite. I mean, look at what's going on in El Salvador right now. The streets are clean. It is a paradise in Central America and really South America for that perspective. They went from being one of the most dangerous countries with MS-13 to one of the safest and cleanest countries.
Yeah, they only have a fucking concentration camp there, you know? Other than that, it's pretty cool.
All because they had, a centralized police force, government willing to enforce the law and willing to actually lay down a moral structure to their society, not being scared of what, journalists or other fogies like to say.
Yeah, I was just actually down there in El Salvador, hanging out with some people in the government. We're going back down, actually.
You were hanging out with people in the government in El Salvador? Oh, they're just like small bean content creators, guys. They're not like involved in the... It's reaching levels of parody that I did not think was possible. I was hanging out with my government buddies in El Salvador. That's like Charlie Kirk level shit, man. The fuck is going on? I thought that the right wing was supposed to be like the anti-establishment party.
To go hang out with them as well. And I was pleasantly surprised. It looks third world, and it is a third world country. You're safer in El Salvador than you...
So wait, it's clean and pristine, but also a third world country, and it looks third world. Pick a lane.
You are in Miami. You know what I mean? Despite Brickell having, tens of millions of dollars, for single apartments, it's remarkable that like you would...
Miami, Florida, who is governed by whom?
Be in an area, and this is what they even said. They go, the people are so traumatized from the previous regime, the socialist regime that was in power, that they don't even realize how safe they are. Like they're not willing to take down their fences and their barbed wire. So it's got a very South Africanized, third world, look, where everything's really fortified. But what's crazy is that you can be somewhere like I went somewhere that previously I probably would have mugged and killed, quite frankly. Somebody said he knew where a liquor store was. It was somebody's house, and they were like roasting a pig, and they didn't know what was going on. And they were like pulling like Cokes and stuff out of like their refrigerator in the backyard, like dirt. And I was like, oh, this isn't a store. This is your friend's house, and I'm gonna get killed. But of course I was safe, and I bring this up. He was telling me, he's like, what's crazy? They even changed their drinking and driving laws to 0.0.
So wait, you went to some brown person's house and you were like, oh, I'm gonna get killed? Okay.
0. You can't even, if you have a drink, you go automatically to jail if you're driving. Wow. And they've already stopped any, they like reduced their traffic fatalities by like half or something like that. And I was just shocked. And so when I saw that, I
was shocked the brown people didn't kill me. It was crazy.
Went down there to study what
Not
fascism
racist,
can do. And I went, it is crazy that to this day, Democrats are protesting that. I don't know if you've seen that. There's big protests against the prison out there. But,
yes.
saying that you want law and order.
You mean the concentration camp? Yeah, we do protest that. I don't think it's good to torture people, actually.
You could be saying you want El Salvadorian fascism, and they're an ally of the United States. So it's a very strange thing. They assumed that you meant you supported Nazism, and I'm sure that
he never fucking condemned the Holocaust. He didn't even do that now. He pussied out of it. And you let him because you're on his side. You are providing cover for him. Which is clearly demonstrated, like, people can see exactly what you're doing, dude. The guy literally said freedom of speech shouldn't exist, and now he's crying because he got fired. Dude's an idiot and a loser. This is the same guy that said, yes, I'm a fascist. Might be the dumbest conversation I've ever heard. Thank God he got fired. Yeah, it doesn't look like the people are really liking this one, buddy. Not that they care about democracy or anything.
Terminated you, but you got fired from a legitimate job that provided well because of your political views that are not illegal. How does that make you feel?
Don't worry, guys. My views aren't illegal or anything. Okay. It's also not illegal for me to be a communist, although it was at one point, so there's that.
Destroyed. I put a lot of pride in the work that I do. I try to treat everyone with a level of respect and love and decency.
Unless they're brown.
And, many might
Or
say,
gay.
oh, you say that, but you're actually this evil guy behind closed doors. No, I'm a guy who is looking at our society being torn apart by just kind of the lack of rule of law, the lack of meaning in people's lives. Frankly, let's just get a little harder.
What do you mean? These are all vague gestures, man. This is the game that fascists love to play. They're like, rule of law, meaning in people's lives, the fabric of society. You sound like a fucking liberal, man. Say what you mean. Like you did during that fucking Jubilee session. At least during Jubilee, he was honest. Now he's being a pussy.
But the lack of God in people's lives.
Lack of God. There you go.
I see enough at this point. I mean,
there's a lack of God in your life. You should go meet him. I think that you're lacking God too much. Why don't you go meet him, buddy? You know, you love him so much.
Why is it that we have to live in a society where people are killing themselves, they're addicted to drugs, they are looking for all manner of filling the vacuum and the void that is going on in their lives? And I'm the evil one for calling that out. I just simply don't understand that. I find it to be so abhorrent.
He's such a victim.
That anyone who is willing to care enough about other people and willing to lay down their life so that other people may have a better life is canceled from that. And I don't even consider myself a part of that, but rather...
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like I'm going crazy sometimes when I listen to these people because, like, I don't do this. I don't fucking victimize myself like this. I'm never like, oh, I'm the evil one for pointing this and that out. Like, even during my debate with Remnant, I was like, not like, oh, like, yo, I'm the bad guy, like, woe is me. I didn't do that. I said no. I basically said no, you. I flipped it over on him. But, like, I don't... Do I do this? Like, this is just pussy shit. Oh, woe's me. Oh, people are attacking me for my views. No, people don't like what I have to say. It's like, if you don't like what I have to say, then fucking... I don't know, fuck you. All I'm trying to do is preach common fucking sense. You know? Like, if you don't like it, then you're probably just a piece of shit. I don't value your or respect your opinion anyway. What happened? Like, why do you want my validation? You're so willing to say that trans people don't require validation or affirmation, yet you yourself are seeking validation and affirmation. You're a pussy. You are a pussy.
So many martyrs kind of in our whole movement, in the conservative movement, in Catholic Church for that matter, who have labored in the modern age to make life better, and yet they get canceled and they get canned everywhere.
Yeah, and you know, it's really unfortunate. Oh man, I just told you.
Yeah, and respect and love. They're like always about like, oh, I respect and love everybody. First of all, that's bullshit. Second of all, I'm not afraid to say that I fucking hate you. I hate you and everybody who is like you. And I hope that you're removed from society like as soon as possible. As soon as possible. Like the sooner you're gone, the better.
Like, man, I remember I got fired from a really good job too.
You don't belong
They
here.
also
Leave.
had TV in their name. It's like crazy how you get those jobs again, you know? But the thing is that, you know, it was probably good. I look back at it and I'm going, you know,
Girl, pair
at
of
the time I
balls,
was
dude.
devastated because less about getting fired itself, but what the repercussions of, like, at least in my situation, people trying to keep me from getting other work, you know, like people telling people you can't come on my show if you work for him, or if you help him out and get him advertisers of this, we will work with you. And the back end of the trying to destroy my life, you know, even one of the texts that one of the girls sent, you know, that maybe if we cause enough stress, you know, his wife will have a miscarriage, you know, trying to kill my like unborn baby, you know? So, I mean, these people are very evil, and that they still work in media. By
Oh no, people were texting me to try to get my wife to have a miscarriage through texts. Do you hear yourself, man? That's crazy work. Come on. And also, that sounds like a fucking joke. Maybe if we text him enough, his wife will get stressed out and have a miscarriage. That's funny. And frankly, you know, at least then your genes won't be passed along. Like, fuck you.
the way, and they're conservative, you know, e-girls, you know, out there. But anyway, very, very evil. I don't make this about me. I'm
so
saying
evil.
it was a shitty time, and there's nothing about it that I'm going to tell you.
They're
like, hey,
such
this
victims.
Is, you know, this is not going to be a shitty time. It is horrible, but I don't want to leave you without.
This is their echo chamber. This is like their little cuddle session. Ooh, this is their cope session. Look at how mean they're all being to us, guys. All we want is for brown people to leave. We just want to kick the brown people out and make and put gay kids in conversion camps and electroshock them until they're not gay. Which will never happen, but at least they'll hide it from us. We just want to abuse children and kill brown people and export and deport them. That's all we want. It's not so bad. Oh, boo-hoo, they're being mean to us.
Hope and saying,
no.
You know, sometimes that's why I want to put.
I got fired for that
too. You know, sometimes you end up leaving something, or God ends up removing something from your life, even if it's your own stupidity. Like in my case, I'm kind of stupid, you know. And so even if it's your own stupidity that gets you fired, or even just a lack of wisdom or anything, was it the wisest thing to say? I don't know, but I will say that God does open doors that the enemy can't close. You know, and to anybody else.
Yeah, he's got the door wide open for you, okay? The door is wide open for you. Go meet him.
There.
That's the door I want you to go through.
You can always just email mike.mendoza@rifttv.com if you want to reach out and talk to Pine, or you can hit him up on his socials. They're linked down below. But if you're more of like a business guy or whatever, and you want to, see what he does and his opportunities, see what his CV is, let us know. But also, I know that we told you we wanted you to make a Give, Send, Go, right? That's what we wanted to do. We wanted to create a fundraiser.
Shut the fucking website down. Honestly, just shut it down. I hope that when Nuremberg 2 Electric Boogaloo happens, that website, any website that allows fascists to fucking raise money off of their disgusting, aberrant beliefs, their inhuman, animal fucking ape brain beliefs, just like collect money from, like, hold out their little electronic tin can for their slobbering simps to come drop pennies into it. Ban them all. Ban them. We need Electric Boogaloo so fucking bad. That's what I'm going to call it, Electric Boogaloo. Okay? From now on, Nuremberg 2 will be known as Electric Boogaloo. Which, of course, has nothing to do with what I'm thinking should be the punishment for these people at all.
Try to raise some money because you got fired for your very legal political beliefs, and the fact is that they tried to ruin your life because you are right-wing and they hate everything that's of order, of God, and of a sound mind. And so we have the link to the Give, Send, Go. We're like, have a stated goal. It may go up. We'll see what happens, what it is. But every dollar.
And any news media also that is like covering this as though that like, oh, both sides. So you got to consider both sides. Yeah, try them too.
Counts. So he lost his job, and like always, they're always trying to prevent you.
Just like they did in Nuremberg.
They will try to prevent you, man, from getting work again. And so
Good.
we want to be there to come as a community. We've raised money before.
I want his face plastered in every fucking workplace on LinkedIn too. Like I want his face everywhere with the name and say, this guy is not to be hired.
And so if you can, I don't know if we have the link or if it's in there. Is it in there?
Yep, it's in the info. Oh, well, I'm like really loud. Sorry.
Yeah. What is it in there?
It's in the info. It's in the info right now, and also...
Here, hold on. What's in the info? Oh, the Give, Send, Go link. Support Connor. Here, let's see how he's doing. Let's see how our boy's doing. Internal server error. Is it down? I think it's down. What's his name again? Connor Estelle. Okay, it's not down. The link just doesn't work. See how we're doing. Still getting donos as of 12 hours ago. Anonymous giver, anonymous giver, anonymous giver, anonymous giver. Wow, it looks like a lot. There we go. Michael McInnes. What is this? Calling out fascism. I did donate $5 only because it wouldn't let me donate $1. Connor posted in January that he lost his job prior to the debate on Jubilee. So that can only mean two things. He's lying about losing his job because of his beliefs, or he lost his job for a second time in 1 year, which means he's incompetent. I like how the conservative, Catholic, and... But why here, man? You didn't have to give him fucking money! Dumb fuck. Say no to the left. Lol. Why is it doing that? What is it? What? Oh, were there more donos just now? Is that what that was? We're up to 40,000. That's pretty cool. Shut it down. Shut it down.
So I think that we have the URL. 1 second, let me pull it up. It is givesendgo.com/rift.
Yeah, I get the idea. I think that's it. Oh, my bad. I think that's all she said, folks. Yeah, fuck Connor. Fuck Rift TV for trying to clean his image and linking his linking a broken link to his Give, Send, Go, which is very funny. I hope he stays eternally unemployed. He runs out of money. He fails his fascist grift and goes down in infamy as... Honestly, I don't even want him to be remembered. I just hope that he drops off the face of the earth, quite frankly. If you have a job for $20 an hour, 40 hours a week, you still won't make as much as he's going to raise for being a vile fascist. Yeah, it's pretty sad. All right, I got to get to the gym, folks. It's already later than I meant for it to be. We're going to drop you off with Necosaurus. I've heard that Necosaurus is pretty cool. So we're going to drop you off with Necosaurus. Okay, Twitch raid, and then YouTube raid. It's so hard to raid with YouTube. I really wish they would make this easier. You gotta do like a fucking redirect. It's not hard, it's just tedious. Show biceps? Here. I did work them out 2 nights ago. We're gonna get back to where we were, folks. It's gonna happen. I'm tired as balls, but I'm gonna do it. All right. Thank you all for being here. Love you all. I will be back on Friday for more fun and shenanigans. I will whip Dubsy into shape to get some more videos out, so no worries. I'll head down to the basement and make sure that they're doing okay. Give them some food and water. Make sure that the video editing train is going strong. You'll have plenty of content to feast on. Until then, take care. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your family and loved ones. Have a great rest of your week. And I'll see you when I see you next. Goodbye.
I feel super confident that today is the last day that we will be crocheting. Here is my finished crochet Charizard. What do we think? Let me give you a 360. Let me know what you think in the comments and I'll see you again.
Oh, I'm not live, or I'm